Natchitoches, Louisiana, the city of lights. And for the final time in the regular season, we welcome you inside the confines of Turpin Stadium. One of the great rivalries in this area between Stephen F. Austin and Northwestern State, the battle for the Chief. Couple of teams that are playing for vastly different things today. We welcome you upstairs to the booth. He's two-time Super Bowl champion, top 100 giant of all-time college football Hall of Famer Gary Reasons. I'm Patrick Netherton. He intercepted a ball with a club on his hand. I was in the AV club at the same time, and I wondered why I didn't have any friends. Gary, let's talk about Stephen F. Austin. This is an unusual position for the Jacks. They've won the outright share. They won the championship, at least a share. They've got the automatic qualifier. They know they're in the playoffs, and so this game is both for seeding and potentially for rest.
Yeah, first of all, congratulations to Stephen F. Austin for getting the conference championship and also that automatic berth. That is not easy to attain, and that's where everybody starts to start the season. They want to be that team that gets there and gets into the playoffs. That's the end goal. But their team is really talented. We'll see that tonight. They've got a lot of stars on offense and on defense. I think this defense could be the most elite in the country when you take a look at all the things that they do, especially. But they've had a miraculous season. But for Northwestern State, it's just, guess what? It's Thursday night, and you have to look back to the start of the season. Hey, guess what? They won on Thursday night last, and this is really, and this Coach Carthel told us this is Northwestern State's Super Bowl, and that's how he's had to coach his team up so that they don't have any kind of a setback in this type of a ball game. They're going to rest a few guys if they can, he's told us, but they certainly want to come out of here with a big victory, and it should be a fun game. I want to see the talent that Stephen F. Austin has on display tonight.
So Blaine McCorkle for Northwestern State. We mentioned, Gary, vastly different places that these programs are right now. Blaine McCorkle took over and kind of raised the program to the foundation, is trying to build it back up, while Colby Carthel, who's had a little bit more time at Stephen F. Austin, is now trying to get his team into that place of the elite year after year.
Yeah, you see the team that Coach Carthel has put together, and it has grown year over year over year, and now this is where they've come into their own. A lot of talent on display, and they've got a lot of players that really going to have a chance to excel in the postseason.
Kick is away, and from the goal line, Amaz Eugene will bring it out. Got a crease over the left side, still on his feet, all the way across the 35-yard line. And we'll talk as this game progresses about how good the special teams of Stephen F. Austin is. That a big play in special teams for NSU. Jason Pugh, the keys to this one.
Thank you, Patrick. You touched on one of those keys, the balance Stephen F. Austin has to strike. We put it under offense, but it's across the board. How do you balance rest versus a potential bye, keeping guys sharp yet staying healthy? Defensively, we know the numbers from Stephen F. Austin. It starts up front. The addition or re-addition of Ed Bobineau has helped that group get even stronger. For Northwestern State, a young team that is trying to do it again. They had a very good offensive performance relative to the season last week at Nichols, trying to do it again. When we talked to Blaine McCorkle, we talked about there's going to be some new faces in. Matt Connor's defense has been dealing with a lot of injuries throughout the year. A few more means we're going to see some different faces out there tonight.
Well, no surprise that Stephen F. Austin starts with a tackle for loss. They lead the nation in them, and immediately tackle for loss.
Yeah, they've done a great job this season. These guys, they penetrate. This is a penetrating defense. You'll see these defensive linemen and these linebackers really bottle up this run game, I think, of Northwestern State. It's going to be a real challenge for the Demons to get anything going with the run game here.
Well, they'll try it again, this time with Abram Johnston. He'll get the corner and take it out for a few yards, as seemingly the only issue that Stephen F. Austin had last week in the run defense was against the quarterback, and Johnston comes up a little bit gimpy.
Yeah, this defense for Stephen F. Austin, they've allowed just 71 yards per game rushing. That leads the nation at the FCS level, and deep yards allowed defensively in the rush game. It's tremendous, and they're a top 5 total defense overall. This is a special defense.
Johnston going to throw against man coverage. High attempt to Ty Moore. He cannot come down with it, and Northwestern State will punt it away on their first possession, 3 and out.
Yeah, and they threw over there to the new cornerback who's playing instead of Charles Demings tonight. Number 1, Charles Demings going to sit out this ball game. He's on the sideline. He's their number 1 all-everything cornerback, going to be a high NFL draft pick this coming spring potentially, but he's going to sit out tonight. Coach told us just before the ball game that he'd made that decision, so that was his replacement making that play on defense for the Jacks.
The left foot punt is away, and one of the most electric return men in all the nation, Bugs Mortimer, already out the chute around the opposite side, looking to turn the corner, and he does. You're not going to catch Bugs Mortimer. Already 3 punt return touchdowns, make it 4.
Just an amazing ability, Patrick, to be able to see the things in front of him and then make that decision to cut back across the grain, and then it's set up perfectly because you look at the white jerseys that actually are going to be over here, and they're just kind of lining it out for him, and he just outruns the defense and the coverage team and not able to get around to him. Just got elite speed, and he said he was a great ad. Coach Carlisle talked about him. They went out and especially get Bugs Mortimer to get him to their team because they needed someone with his skill set.
Coming in, he leads the nation in punt return average, just under 20, and 3 punt return touchdowns. Now he has 4 after a 78-yard punt return to get Stephen F. Austin on the board, and you couldn't have asked for a better beginning to this one for Colby Carthel. His defense gets a stop. Victor Edasui gets the tackle for loss, and then a 78-yard punt return for the best punt returner in the country. Devon Bugs Mortimer came in, number 1 in the nation in punt return average, number 1 in the nation in punt return touchdowns. Well, his average has gone up and his touchdowns have gone up. Officially a 79-yard return for Bugs Mortimer.
Yeah, and he's a special player. They went out specifically to recruit his skill set to come to their team simply because Kylan Harris was actually being asked to do punt returns and kick returns, and it kind of wore him out. And he's been a great add to Stephen F. Austin this season, and it has really paid dividends to have him on their football team, and you can see the electricity that he brings to the team.
Mortimer, a redshirt junior from Fort Lauderdale, Florida, spent a couple of years up in Funro playing for ULM, and then a year with Western Michigan. And has obviously had a tremendous impact. We talked about the special teams, and it's funny, Gary, all the way across the field from one sideline to the other.
Yeah, he just sees the path, and then he just sees that he can make this turn, and then he's got good blocking right out in front there, just holding off the demons, unable to get out there to him. And Mortimer gets his another touchdown on the season in the punt return game.
Yeah, J.K. Moore, credit him for being out there and blocking. Again, the punt return was all the way to the opposite side of the field, and J.K. Moore was sitting there blocking all the way on the opposite side and did a great job to free Mortimer. So the Jacks up early, and Demons will move here. Craig Helser Our head referee had him back in week 1.
False start, 43, offense, 5-yard penalty, first down.
For Northwestern State. Little movement early from Tyler Siddons, one of the tight ends for NSU. And the Demons certainly can't afford to go backwards against this defense. They'll send you backwards enough on their own. You don't have to help them out.
Yeah, leading the nation in tackles for loss, that's not an easy thing to accomplish, and penalties just add to the displeasure of that offensive coordinator.
So they'll stay with the rollout that they did earlier and just throw it away. Jimmy Duncan was on the near sideline, but was absolutely blanketed over there by Jalen Mayo. Mayo's been a terrific pickup for SFA after 3 years at Virginia Union.
You know, you think that with Northwestern State, with the offense, and kind of bring a game plan in here against this top-rated defense in the country, how do you go about that with a team that has been with Northwestern really inefficient offensively, without a lot of balance, a lot of consistency? You just got to still play your game. You can't reinvent the wheel this late in the year.
And the game for Northwestern State is handed off, and not much there. Be right at the line of scrimmage for Colby Burrell, the graduate student from Jenkintown, Pennsylvania. And NSU will face 3rd and long. Demons went 3 and out, punted it away, and gave up a 79-yard punt return to Bugs Mortimer. And so far, the offense moving backwards for Northwestern State. And Gary, you mentioned it, top 5 in defense, scoring defense, rushing defense, total defense, third down defense, tackles for loss, sacks. They do a little bit of everything right. Trying to set up the screen. That was beautifully diagnosed. And that will be incomplete.
Well, even if they had knocked it down, it was going to be knocked down at where the receiver was, the running back. That was Lowton Jerkin, knocked that ball down for Stephen F. Austin. So they're off the field there. And again, Northwestern State taking a little step backwards there with that penalty. And they're going to punt the ball again after their second possession.
Yeah, Lowton Jerkin actually backed off the line of scrimmage, saw the screen the entire way, and was just sitting there. And Abram Johnson, no choice. Now this is going to be a fake punt, and there is all kinds of room. It will be a first down, hopefully. He went out of bounds right at the sticks.
Why not?
That was Zach Stone, the freshman. And that will be enough for a first down on 4th and 15. Here's the crazy part, Gary. We were just talking about this before the game. The lone weak spot that Stephen F. Austin has defensively is 4th down percentage.
you did nail that one, Patrick. You found that. You said, hey, this is something they can build on.
Yeah.
Just get it to 4th down. And, well, not necessarily you don't want to get there. That was something we were chuckling about there, that their only inefficiency was on 4th down defense. Well, there you go.
There you go, right at 15 yards. Yeah, the SFA defense is top 10 in basically every category except they're 94th, giving up 58% of 4th downs. And there's another tackle for loss.
I mean, that was 3 yards in the backfield as he's handing it off.
That was Lowton Jerkin again.
That's just not fair. You can't.
So Jerkin, who made a great play on that potential screen pass, also comes up with a terrific play there. It's interesting, Blaine McCorkle talks so much about how young and small, and they're still getting stronger and bigger, but they're still young. Northwestern State. SFA is a bunch of men. They are a bunch of dudes over there. We were down on the sidelines before the game, and they are all big and strong. And Abram Johnston will get it back to the original line of scrimmage plus a yard.
And they're all everything. Linebacker Southward makes that play. That linebacker, Jaden Southward, is a pretty impressive player, number 6. When you see him out there, he's got a nose for the football. He leads the team in tackles. He's their number 1 tackler, and showed it right there that he can just get into a hole very quickly. And when you look like Abram Johnston was going to take off, he just closed very quickly.
Yeah, Southern averaging just under 11 tackles per game. That's top 10 in the nation and tops in the Southland Conference. Johnston, a little play action, under pressure, going to be hit from behind. That's always dangerous. And he is taken down from behind. Tim Muhammad comes away with the sack, and yet another tackle for loss for SFA.
Yeah, TFL, that's their 34th sack of the season as a team. That's a great number to come in there with. You're averaging almost 4 sacks per game defensively. That means you're putting pressure on the quarterback, and here it is against Abram Johnston getting a sack.
Yeah, the initial pressure by Kai Thomas, one of the leaders up front, and another punting situation. This will not be a fake. Will be a low spiraling effort. Mortimer wants another one, and that is a terrific tackle by Landry Huddleston. Yeah. Takes down the return man. Actually wasn't Mortimer on the return, however. That was Jacob Brooks who was returning it instead of Bugs Mortimer. Look, Mortimer got his touchdown. He can, take a break. Yeah, he's good. He's got his touchdown for the day. He's all right. Good tackle by Landry Huddleston.
Welcome to Casati Pines at Coshada, nestled in the natural wetlands of southwest Louisiana on 65 acres of Looking Glass Lakes, surrounded by stately pines and live oaks. It's an experience unlike any other. A challenging 18-hole par 72 championship course, 6 sets of tees, and a unique 19th tiebreaker hole. Ranked the 18th best golf course in the USA by Golf Advisor. Casati Pines at Coshada in Kinder, Louisiana, Louisiana's best bet.
Looking for cleaner energy? Propane is energy for everyone. Propane water heaters are very cost efficient, and the savings are even greater with a tankless propane water heater. We all know that Louisiana propane is a safe and environmentally friendly fuel. So why not go green while you save some green? I'm Miss Louisiana, Gabrielle McLeod, and for more information, visit louisianapropane.com.
Hi, I'm Nancy Landry. Knowing the rules of the game is critical for both athletes and fans. Elections are no different, and there's a few new rules for Louisiana's primary elections. Before voting kicks off in 2026, make sure you know about the changes. Keeping your registration current ensures you'll get the right ballot because ballots are based on party, and the changes only affect a few offices. To learn more, visit govote.com or download the GoVote app.
Do you enjoy college sports? The athletes, the excitement, the competition? Protect it. Don't lose the excitement of national competition. Don't jeopardize women's sports and Olympic sports. Make sure your favorite athletes continue to enjoy the many important benefits provided to them, and ensure that we preserve and standardize name, image, and likeness rights. Tell Congress to pass the SCORE Act at passthescoreact.com.
Lumberjacks will have the ball for the first time for Colby Carthel in his 7th year at SFA, 11th year overall. Won a national championship in 2017 at Texas A&M Commerce. Of course, that was when they were Division II before they moved into the Southland Conference. It became East Texas A&M. But Carthel with a national title. Incredible career that he's had so far. Abilene Christian, West Texas A&M. And has really rebuilt this Stephen F. Austin Lumberjack team. Sam Vidlak will start at QB. Vidlak has played sparingly the last couple of weeks. Jarrell Wembley has not. Wembley, the senior from Houston, taking care of that. Sam Vidlak, the senior from Applegate, Oregon, went to Oregon State, then Boise State, then Montana. He has thrown for over 1,800 yards so far this season, but so far it has been handoffs to Wembley and that big offensive line.
Well, what you get with Vidlak is he's an experienced quarterback. He's a senior. He's a guy who's been around the program, and he understands the paces that this offense needs to go through. And he's a leader out there. Whenever he's under center, they feel like that they've got someone who can make the decisions to get the ball to the right people at the appropriate time.
He has been full go in practice this week, so no surprise that he would play. There's a great move by Kylan Harris, top receiver for SFA, kind of been their do-everything guy over the last couple of years. You had mentioned, Gary, he was returning punts, returning kicks, and wide receivers, playing wide receiver as well.
Yeah, Harris, you're going to get the ball to him quite a bit. You know, he's got 60. That was his 61st reception on the season. He's the guy they want to put the ball in his hands and make explosive plays.
Another bubble screen to the outside, and SFA just moseying right down the field. Harris again, the senior, and as Colby Carthel said, we snuck across the state line and got him from East St. John in Reserve, Louisiana.
Louisiana guy out to Texas, and that happens sometimes.
Every now and then. Sometimes Louisiana folks go across the the river and grab a Texas guy. Going to look down into the corner. Perfect throw, perfect catch, perfect touchdown. Derek Bowler. And SFA marches right down the field the first time they touch the ball offensively, and they take a 2-score lead.
Just the timing of the throw and the position of the ball and confidence of the receiver to make the breakaway from the defender. That ball just floated into his hands. It was effortless and an excellent touchdown.
For Derek Bowler, that is his 3rd touchdown of the season and his 14th catch. Comes away with that one. And Sam Vidlak looking perfectly healthy. A couple of bubble screens and then one down the field. We got a little motion after that. Was a 26-yard touchdown pass for Sam Vidlak, his 16th passing touchdown of the season. So Vidlak going over 1,900 yards, and looks like SFA may elect to go for 2 here.
Yeah, you bump it up 1.5 yards or 2 on that penalty, half the distance to the goal.
Only place the 1.5 yard line.
Give it a shot.
So they'll bring the offense back on the field with Sam Vidlak at the controls. He was the Southland Conference Newcomer of the Year and a finalist for the Walter Payton Award, which obviously is the FCS Heisman last year. So now they'll move. I think we're going to see a Wildcat formation here with Wembley taking the snap. Wembley will sweep to his right, looking to throw. Gets hit in the backfield, trying to try to do something with it, and he'll go down. Braden Woods cleans it up. But a terrific play initially for Northwestern State's Troy Santa Marina.
Yeah, Santa Marina from the outside comes up and makes that initial pressure, and then the cavalry came from Northwestern State. They stopped the 2-point attempt. Good job there by the Demons getting that there, but you see Vidlak here with this touchdown pass. That was effortless and an excellent throw and an easy grab there from the receiver, Stephen F. Austin. You can see why they're one of the top teams in the nation, and they're deservedly so. And
really nice job by Bowler to get his butt down. Normally they say that about offensive linemen, right? You want to have a low center of gravity, body, all that kind of stuff, but got the hiney down on that one, and then they tried a little sweet pass. No one was out. No one was in a pattern to receive that ball, so Wembley had to just eat it.
I think he got locked up inside, and he just could not make it out there in the route, and so nowhere to go for him.
So Stephen F. Austin, who last week against Lamar locked up the automatic qualifier spot out of the Southland Conference, and with a win this week will be the champion alone.
Yeah, let's talk about that for a minute, because this is an important game for Stephen F. Austin by any means. Certainly they want to have the solo championship to win that there, and that's what he talked to his team about. Do you want to be co-champs, or do you want to be outright champions? And I think that it's heading that way, that they want to be the outright champions. But really beyond that is the postseason, and how does the selection committee view Stephen F. Austin? There's a possibility of a top 8 seed. Certainly they'd love to be that. That would get them a bye in the first week of the playoffs. Otherwise, they would be, into the top 16. Definitely they would fit there.
Yeah, they would certainly host. I don't think there's any doubt about that, as Johnston goes nowhere. Submarined under. Jaden Southard was over there along with Jalen Mayo, the corner. But SFA has quite a resume, and Gary, they're looking at winning their 10th game in a row after dropping the first 2. Pretty amazing turnaround for this squad.
Yeah, it hasn't been very often that Stephen F. Austin has had 10-win seasons. I think it's like 3 or 4 times in the past that they have had 10 in a row, and but it's been a long time coming.
Yeah, it would be the longest winning streak they've ever had in one season. They've done it over the course of the end of one season, the beginning of another. There's a good hole over the left side for Jeremiah James. Gapped up SFA on the counter to the left side. James will pick up good yardage.
Yeah, well blocked that time by the Demons up front. Good hole there for James to get through, and they like his skill set, Jeremiah James. He's a young player, freshman, came in here, and Coach McCorkle told us that he's an exceptional athlete, and they like to get the ball in his hands and see how electric he could be.
So the Demons pick up the first down, their best drive in their first 3. This time Johnston will keep around the right side and slides down as he gets hit after a gain of a couple. And again, the the running quarterbacks have been the guys that have really given SFA the most trouble. I say the most trouble, and again, they're tops in the nation in yards per carry average, and on their run defense, they give up just 2.2 yards per rush. And again, a lot of that has to do with sack yardage. Their sack numbers are so good. It is really an impressive defensive crew for Stephen F. Austin.
Right there.
This time Johnston will keep around the left side and gets back to the line of scrimmage, and no more as he is wrapped up and slung down. That's Victor Adduci again.
Yeah. This is a big defensive line, guys. And, you know, first of all, look at Edward Bobineau, number 3 back there. He is 334 pounds, and how quickly he gets into the backfield on that last play. He went and he tackled the running back who they faked the handoff to. But Bobineau is a guy who gives him that size, that girth, but he is really explosive off the ball. He's a talented player inside, and there's many of those guys on Stephen F. Austin's football team.
Yeah, and Bobineau injured his knee earlier this year. Could have taken some time off, but decided to come back and play. They're going to try the quick out, and there is nothing there. Looking for a flag. Ty Moore was out there along with Dane Wallace, but the Demons will be forced to punt it away. Blaine McCorkle not happy about potentially a hold on the outside.
Yeah, there's definitely contact there on the outside, and not allowing the receiver to get off of that. And so that is what the coaches saw, and I'm sure that's what their displeasure was about.
Yeah, so Bobineau injured his knee back in game 1 against Houston, re-injured it against Incarnate Word. He could have redshirted if he sat for the 4-game redshirt rule, but he wanted to play with this team, so he elected to go ahead and play. The punter gets bumped, no flag. Zatin will go down inside the 25-yard line. Bugs Mortimer was out there on the return, but stayed away from it, and the punter, Zach Stone, chatting with Craig Helzer, our head referee, about why he didn't get the penalty for being run into. Well, let's go down to the sideline for Jason Pugh, our sideline reporter. Jason.
Patrick, thank you so much. We got a little bit of a unique view. Coca-Cola, one of the game sponsors for tonight's game for Northwestern State, decided to let me take on the role of Polar Bear Pugh. So we're going to, as usual, we have a lot of fun. We do the job we do, and Patrick and Gary, you do such a great job. We got to have a little fun. So 2 weeks ago, it was a giant shopping cart, and today it's a polar bear suit. So we're willing to go the extra mile to get what we need to get for your broadcast.
This is amazing.
Oh my gosh, we got to come back to that after that play ends. You know, Pugh, his hair has gone white over the course of the last several years, and I didn't realize it was this white.
Well, you know, he was complaining to us on the field today. There's no shopping cart to get into.
Yeah.
What do we want to do as a sideline hit? We see the outcome. Good job.
Here's my real question, Pugh. How hot is it in that thing?
It's a little bit toasty. There's no doubt. I'm sorry if there's an echo in here, but
You're good.
I will say this: it's pretty unique trying to get in and out of this. I've got a whole new level of respect. I'm a big mascot guy to begin with, but now I have such a larger respect for the men and women that do this job. They were talking about they've got a guy in one of the South, maybe Baton Rouge, that does this on ice skates. And I got to tell you, just walking around in this thing, you kind of feel like you're a little bit off. But kudos to those guys, and thank you to Coca-Cola, our local sponsor, for allowing me to do this. I know mascots aren't usually supposed to talk. And speaking of talking, Patrick McGarry, you've got something to talk about.
Yeah, Kylan Harris has the defense on skates right now. That's for sure. Just taking it right down the sideline, 55 yards for the touchdown.
No, I think it was a little further than that, Patrick. More than 55. It was more like 75.
65 officially, yeah.
Oh, okay. 65 officially there. Wow. Kylan Harris just runs right by the defense in the back end of Northwestern State. I was focused on Polar Pugh.
I mean, I'll be honest with you. It's hard not to be. I think Polar Pugh needs to go make a walk down the sideline and greet all the fans and everyone out there. I'm sure his adoring public would like to say hi to him. So SFA already opening this one up here in the first quarter.
Well, you see here, Vidlak does a good job there. Just little play action pass, get the defense in there. And Harris, what he's done all season long, he's come up big for SFA. You know, he catches ball. He's their slot receiver, the number one go-to guy here in this type of an offense. And he just runs behind the defense. And a great throw there by Vidlak. Easy pitch and catch.
Yeah, the Demons secondary is pretty much decimated at this point. They are running a true freshman, Tyler Welch, out there in that coverage, the freshman from Shreveport Huntington High School. Well, good to see Polar Pugh, though. Glad to see Pugh is keeping up the tradition of sideline reporting here. Tyler Moody never did anything that cool, that's for sure. And matter of fact, Pugh's taking pictures with folks down by Vic. There you go. Folks want to get in and get pictures with Pugh. Hey, if assistant athletic director for external operations ever, if that title ever dries up for Pugh, he might have a future in mascotting. And that kickoff will go out of the end zone. And it is all SFA here. The Lumberjacks. Vidlak now 4 for 4 for 114 yards and 2 touchdowns. And Gary, the reason Sam Vidlak is starting tonight is because Colby Carthel wants to make sure that the selection committee understands that Vidlak is healthy and ready to go come playoff time.
Yeah, he's been a little banged up throughout the season and missed a little bit of time, but that's normal, I think, here for the course of the season of a college football team. And but they're healthy and they've rested. They're resting a couple of guys here tonight. We talked to Coach Carlton before the game, and he shared some of that. But I think overall they're going to play most everybody that they can, and we might see some younger guys out there later in the ball game from Stephen F. Austin to give them some quality playing time. In a good competitive stadium.
It is the battle for the Chief. Used to be the battle for Chief Caddo, the largest rivalry trophy in all of sports, and then a couple of years ago, Chief Caddo went away. SFA went away, left the Southland Conference. And now you can see in the background there, laying across that purple and orange totem back there, is now the new Chief Caddo mascot. Demons have a little something going on down the sideline, and good yardage. That's Cameron Davis, the Natchitoches Central native, with the reverse. Demons pulling some tricks out of here.
Good job by Davis getting around the edge, showing some speed there and getting around outside of SFA's defense there. So that's kind of an explosive play for Northwestern State on the ground here with the running attack and the pitch. And you see the blocking out in front. Almost a little hole, I thought, right there, or a block in the back, but that was not called.
So the Demons into SFA territory for the first time. Little RPO action, and that one's going to be incomplete. And there's the flag for a little contact before the ball arrived on Michael Patterson III, the redshirt sophomore from Houston.
Yeah, I think this is something that the coaches have put in over the course of time. A little bit more of an RPO action here for Abram Johnston to be able to pull that ball out. You can hand it off when you need to, but toss it out there when the play permits.
Pass interference. Number 19, defense. Ball plays spot on the foul. Automatic. First down.
So the Demons get a nice play on the reverse, 27 yards for Cameron Davis. Then get the pass interference penalty, and NSU has it inside the 40-yard line. Corner blitz coming. Johnston is stymied immediately and is wrapped up and taken down in the backfield. Malachi Williams, the other linebacker, along with Jaden Southard. I haven't talked about Williams, but Gary, he is a scary dude back there.
Yeah, he's the number 2 tackler on that defense, so he's definitely around the ball all the time, at the line of scrimmage, making negative plays, which he does here on Johnston, getting into the hole there. There was a little miscommunication, I think, from Northwestern State. They weren't positioned well enough for Abram Johnston to even pitch that ball. And he takes him down for a loss.
Yeah, and Michael Patterson also blitzing from the corner spot. Johnston the underneath throw, and that'll be no gain. Colby Burrell out of the backfield. So Abram Johnston, that is his first completion of the night, but it has gone for no yards. Demons have run for 55 and have thrown for 0. And now face third down and long as, again, the tackles for loss. One of the major stories for this SFA squad coming in. 94 tackles for loss on the season. They picked up a few already here. Likely will go over 100. Burrell gets the carry and trying to dance around, find something, and there's nothing doing. He ends up going down. There's another tackle for loss as Southard will take him down, along with Sako Alafipo.
You know, the whole premise of being able to penetrate and make a good defensive front, ours really starts with the big people. The big people, the down people that are in the center of your defense typically, those are the ones that really create the havoc in there around the center and the 2 guards and get that penetration happening.
Demons are going to quick kick here on 4th down as Johnston backed up. This one will bounce inside the 5 and end up in the end zone. Johnston's quick kicked a couple of times so far this season, but went ahead and sent that one away. Ended up in the end zone as SFA has control. A couple of offensive touchdowns and 1 defensive touchdown from Bugs Mortimer. That, of course, being a punt return from Mortimer.
There's Coach Joseph talking to Abram Johnston down there. He's the offensive quarterback's coach.
And that's actually a little concerning because that was the trainer, Cal Paduloma, who was talking to Johnston as well.
Yeah.
And that's usually just double checking, make sure head's okay. I saw him point at the head, so they're can't tell if they're double checking his speaker in his helmet or taking his helmet from him. Definitely keep an eye on that one. A little outside run and a turn up for Jarrell Wembley. Wembley has kind of been the do-everything back. He's over 850 yards rushing with 7 touchdowns so far this year. Coming in second in the Southland in total rushing yards, second in the Southland in rushing yards per game, and second in the Southland in yards per carry at over 5. Quick throw to the outside, and that looked like a hold as Ramon Rinkin was trying to come up and make the stop and was having the jersey wrench. Danny Sears ultimately ends up making the stop.
Yeah, you're talking about Wembley there a minute ago, about him and his running style and what he's done for this football team. You know, also he's a very good receiver out of the backfield. So he's a reception. He's the number 5 receiver on the football team, Patrick. And so he gets it done in a couple of ways.
Yeah, 17 catches, 117 yards receiving. Another bubble screen, well blocked on the outside, and big yardage there. You mentioned it, Jarrell Wembley. Right on command, little swing pass.
So when you have the ability to run between the tackles as well as he does and then swing out and catch that swing pass and get down the field also, it's just magic. It's just balance that you have, and it seems natural to him.
See if SFA chooses to run another play before the first quarter expires, and they do. Wembley, another nice gain. He'll get to the first down yardage before Clinton Anakuru takes him out of bounds. Right at the sticks, and that will end the first quarter. SFA 175 yards in the first quarter and a 79-yard punt return for touchdown for the Lumberjacks as they come in highly ranked, playing well. It has been all SFA here in the first quarter. The Lumberjacks, 175 yards, 48 on the ground, 127 through the air. They've held NSU to just 50 yards. All on the ground, though. A little somewhat surprising that Demons have 50 yards on the ground. Half of that came on the reverse. But Sam Vidlac that you see there, he and his offense have controlled the action when they've had it, plus a Bugs Mortimer 79-yard touchdown as Jarrell Wembley takes it right up the middle. And Gary, the run game for SFA, 7 carries for 58 yards. They're averaging almost 8 yards a carry.
And you got to talk about the offensive line for them. This offensive line, they played together all season, and they're very efficient. They're not the biggest offensive line in college football, but they definitely can get the holes open for their running backs to make room for them. And that's what's electric about this offense. They all know their role, and they can do that.
They're trying to throw the quick bubble screen to Bugs Mortimer, and why not? We saw him last week convert a third and I think 16-17 on a bubble screen. Just get the ball in his hands and let him go.
You know, a good example of what Coach Carthel has built out there, the offensive lineman, left tackle number 71, Robert Keller. You know, he's a senior. He he had a chance possibly to not come back and play, but he wanted to come back and play this year and want to be a part of that legacy.
Yeah, left tackles are can command good money. Wide open down the sideline, tough grab but made. And there's Bugs Mortimer again. As they flooded the sideline and found Mortimer open, it'll be 1st and goal for the Lumberjacks.
Yeah, just get in that little niche. And he found that spot, and Vidlak got it to him pretty easily.
Demons barely set as Vidlak's going to turn and look for another touchdown pass, and he will have it. Tremendous grab by Isaiah Davis. Turning around, good coverage by Ramon Rinkin. Better reception and better throw from Vidlak to Davis.
Yeah, throw and catch there. That's his 5th touchdown reception on the season for Davis, and just effortless there, it seemed like. So good throw and catch there from Vidlak.
So it is all SFA here in the first half. Vidlak now 8 for 8 for 160 yards and 3 touchdowns. I have a feeling his day may be over.
Can I stop now?
I think his night might be over at this point. And again, Colby Carthel wanted to play Vidlak because he wanted the selection committee to understand that he is healthy and he can play. You know, this is one of those games, you've got the automatic qualifier sewn up. You probably can win this game with Gavin Rutherford. Just a tremendous play. But you can probably win this game with Rutherford, but the committee wants to know if your number 1 guy is ready to go. And 8 for 8, 160 yards and 3 touchdowns says their number 1 guy is ready to go.
Super One Foods is proud to be named the official grocery store of the Northwestern State University Demons. No matter where you gather to watch the game, we've got everything you need at Super One Foods, all at super low prices. Plus, you can order online and enjoy same-day pickup with our convenient curbside service. Talk about a game changer. Score big when you shop at Super One Foods, your official NSU Demons grocery store.
Northwestern, now. It's more than a slogan. It's a promise. At Northwestern State University, we have a 140-year tradition of excellence. But our focus is your future. With 100+ student clubs and activities, 4 housing complexes, and 14 NCAA D1 athletic teams, your experience will be bold, brave, and unforgettable. Northwestern, now.
Yeah.
Glad we got Jersey Mike's for the game.
Wait, does our mascot look like Danny DeVito to you?
Yeah, it does. That doesn't matter. This is a commercial for Jersey Mike's, where the subs matter most. Freshly sliced right in front of you. That's what they're all about.
You on the cheer squad?
And up see Daisy. Yeah!
Ooh.
Oh, don't worry about me. Focus on those subs. Where the subs matter most. It's a Jersey Mike's thing. A sub above.
Whether it's in the trailer, behind the camera, or on the air, NSU has a place for you. Learn the ins and outs of an ESPN broadcast while getting a full-fledged education in sports media or broadcast journalism. Northwestern State University. New media, journalism, and communication arts. Learn more at nsula.edu/new media.
So SFA comfortably in command here, 27-0. Sam Vidlak has started and has looked, well, perfect. As we mentioned, 8 for 8, 160 yards, 3 touchdowns. His last one, 10 yards to Isaiah Davis. Also spread the wealth a bit as well, as he has found 3 different receivers for touchdowns. Kylan Harris with 1, Bowler with 1, Davis with the last one. And Gary, what do you do if you're Northwestern State now? You knew coming in this was going to be a very tough hill to climb with a terrific SFA team. What do you try to work on? It is your last game of the year. What are you trying to find between now and the end of the ball game?
Yeah, it's just really you're going to have to try to put one foot in front of the other and just try to get down the field somehow, some way. This is an elite football team. We've talked about that from the start of the show, and I think that overall Stephen F. Austin has shown us that they are a complete football team. in the special teams area as well as offense and defense. They've got this team put together very, very well, and they understand how to win and how to mold themselves into the team that need to get and do the job to get it done.
Jeremiah James, the redshirt freshman from Manny, right down Highway 6 from here.
But there's no shortcuts, Patrick. There's no shortcuts for Northwestern State to be able to get to the level of play that Stephen F. Austin has achieved, and it's going to take a little while. It's hard for Northwestern State fans to get a grip on, and really for as a former player here, it's hard to see the team go through these types of get a little false start there from this right defensive end, Muhammad. It's kind of tough to see the team go through these long stretches of tough play.
Well, and if you don't.
84, offense, 5-yard penalty.
Wow.
Second out.
Thought it was a defensive
That'll
movement.
be on Jimmy Duncan, one of the very talented freshmen. If you don't remember, a couple of years ago, Demons had a player that was shot and killed. Now the lights have gone out.
Is that a good or
so
bad?
I don't know. I think the SFA offense may have shot the lights out here at Turpin Stadium. The good news is these are not the lights that you have to wait 15 minutes for them to come back up. Once they figure out why they're off, they'll come back on immediately. But just to kind of recap, Northwestern State 2 years ago had a player that was shot and killed. They canceled the season, into the season early, had a coaching change at that point, and Blaine McCorkle came in and said, look, I'm here to do the tough thing, which is to tear the whole program down to the studs, if you will, and SFA enjoying the night party.
Stephen F. Austin just loving this. Look at their team out there on the field. They're just enjoying the moment.
Yeah, they're enjoying it. All the lights are on, by the way. People are putting their cell phones on in the stands as well to get in on the fun. By the way, Martin Idden, the Northwestern State facilities manager, just went sprinting up the stadium stairs to figure out what is going on with the lights. But, Gary, this was Blaine McCorkle was not – he was completely honest. He said this is going to be a process. He took the thing down to the studs, and he is rebuilding it from the bottom up with freshmen.
It really has. You take youth and you try to bring them along at a certain pace, and, you don't have all the superstars as young people. It doesn't happen that way. Sometimes there are some elite players that jump into your program at a young age, but really most guys have to learn and turn into more physical humans at their size and at their position to become young men. And really that's what you see here with Stephen F. Austin. These guys are dudes, as you referred to them earlier in the ball game, on the defensive side.
Yeah, they are men. They're again, Gary and I are not small humans, especially in height, and we were noticing just how big SFA's guys are. That is a really nice play for Jeremiah James on the screen. And again, it's a really nice play, and he picks up 3 or 4 yards on it, does Jeremiah James. But, yeah, again, and the one thing I do look at Blaine McCorkle with some admiration, because he hasn't run from this. He hasn't shied from this. He said from the beginning this was going to be a process. And, by the way, he took over Division III Belhaven, who was a 2-win program, did it the same way, and by the time he left, they were a 9-win team and a conference champion. But he certainly was not shy about telling everyone how this was going to work. There's a little slant pattern. Joseph Moreland will be a couple of yards shy of the first down. It'll bring up 4th down and short. We'll see if NSU elects to go ahead and go for it here. Again, the only Achilles heel for the SFA defense is 4th down, but the Demons will punt. NSU's already converted a 4th down in this ball game with the fake punt. And SFA is going to go punt safe here, keep 10 of their starting defenders on the field, and then replace 1 DB with a punt returner. That's what you call punt safe, to guard against a fake. That one's spinning like a top. Fielded back inside the 30, and there's Landry Huddleston again. Huddleston, who came over from Belhaven with the Northwestern State coaching staff, has played a large role last year, but has seen his role diminish a bit. But he has embraced the special teams, and he has definitely been special there. Well, Gary, I thought maybe Sam Vidlak's night would be over after going 8 for 8 for 160 yards and 3 touchdowns, but he is going to remain in. Vidlak with those 160 yards, now over 2,000 yards passing for the second season in a row with SFA. He will hand off. Fernando Washington will make the stop on the backup tailback. That is Jalen Jenkins.
I like the balance that Stephen F. Austin has put into their football team. Oh, they were rushing the ball almost 150 yards a game, throwing it for 220 yards a game. That's the offense that you need to get there. Just got to be very efficient doing those things. And he bobbles the snap there.
Yeah, Vidlak throws it away. I'm not sure he ever got out of the pocket, though, Gary. And there was not a receiver in the area. I think this may be intentional grounding.
Yeah, they may be looking at it, but I'm not sure what's happened here. There's definitely no flags out there.
They said it was not intentional grounding. Let's see. The pocket is right on the hash mark. Yeah, he got close. It is past the line of scrimmage, so there is not a receiver in the area. So I guess they ruled he got out of the pocket when he kind of waggled to the left a bit. But it still brings up a 3rd and long. SFA has not been in third downs much. Vidlak going to step and throw deep yet again, and that one is caught once more inside the 25-yard line. Once again, it's Kylan Harris with a big play against man coverage.
One thing that Kylan Harris does here effortlessly is he doesn't give clues. What that means is he doesn't do anything to give a clue to the defensive back that the ball is coming. See the ball thrown here. He gets to it and he comes to it and he raises his hands slowly and inside. He made a little move inside to find that football, and it didn't show the defender a path to get that play made. So good job by him and Jakarian Lathan on the coverage.
And that'll be a touchdown. Jalen Jenkins will take that one in. Vidlak did throw his first incompletion, but he does lead yet another touchdown drive for SFA as Jenkins scores, and the Lumberjacks pouring it on here in the first half, now up 33-0. Carlos Alvarado has already been a busy man. He will pour another one through. Now 44 for 45. There is a flag. Wonder if we might have a little leaping leverage penalty for going over the center here. That's usually what you find on those flags that are in the middle of the field. The kick was good from Alvarado. Had his first miss of the season last week.
94. Personal foul, roughing the snapper, number 94, defense. That 15-yard penalty will be enforced on the kickoff. Media, timeout.
So SFA up big, and we'll get an extra 15 on the kickoff.
Welcome to Casati Pines at Coshada, nestled in the natural wetlands of southwest Louisiana on 65 acres of looking glass lakes, surrounded by stately pines and live oaks. It's an experience unlike any other. A challenging 18-hole par 72 championship course, 6 sets of tees, and a unique 19th tiebreaker hole. Ranked the 18th best golf course in the USA by Golf Advisor. Casati Pines at Coshada in Kinder, Louisiana. Louisiana's best bet.
Looking for cleaner energy? Propane is energy for everyone. And when you're cooking with clean, affordable propane, you're cooking with gas. In the wintertime, nothing heats a home like Louisiana propane. And when you need hot water, propane's got you covered. Oh, and you won't regret that propane generator when the power goes out. I'm Miss Louisiana, Gabrielle McLeod, and to find more information and to find a propane dealer near you, visit louisianapropane.com.
Whether it's in the trailer, behind the camera, or on the air, NSU has a place for you. Learn the ins and outs of an ESPN broadcast while getting a full-fledged education in sports media or broadcast journalism. Northwestern State University. New media, journalism, and communication arts. Learn more at nsula.edu/new media.
It's brutal. So slow.
Good thing we brought Jersey Mike's. Is that Danny DeVito?
Don't worry about me. This is a commercial for Jersey Mike's. And at Jersey Mike's, the subs matter most. Freshly sliced right in front of you. That's what matters here. Almost forgot. I found your ball.
It's a rock.
Where the subs matter most. It's a Jersey Mike's thing. A sub above.
All Stephen F. Austin in this one. The Lumberjacks nearly 300 yards of offense in the first half. Meanwhile, Northwestern State with just 64 yards of total offense. Good number for SFA. 34.
Yeah, I remember that number.
That's a pretty solid number. By the way, I have an injury report to give you here in just a moment. Jacob Hand doesn't need a lot of extra yardage. He'll just go ahead and squib that one, and fallen on nicely by the Demons. Good field position. But let's throw it down to Jason Pugh out of his Polar Pew get up, because, Jason, there's an issue with the starting quarterback for Northwestern State.
Yeah, perfect timing, Patrick. Abram Johnson just ran by here. I got a chance to ask Cal Padaloma, the football trainer, athletic trainer here at Northwestern State. He said he'll probably go back in, gave me a quick thumbs up. So looks like he was running without any issue. Obviously doesn't have his helmet on just yet. There you see him. But it sounds like he's going to go back in at some point, so it must not be anything too major.
Yeah, Eli Anderson, the senior from Philadelphia, Mississippi, came to the Demons via Mississippi College, where he spent a year. He will work in the quarterback spot. Anderson's thrown for 140 yards with interceptions so far this year, and he starts with a handoff up the middle to Colby Burrell. Good yardage up the middle. And Gary, I put you in the mindset of Colby Carthel now. You wanted to come out and kind of put the foot on the throat, so to speak, of your opponent today, and then now do you start working in all of your second guys?
I think they just kind of pick when they need to. Yeah, I think if these guys if they want to give those guys a break, have a little bit of a rest, that's certainly their call. But they definitely want to continue where they're at right now, and they don't want to be let up at any point.
They average over 30 yards a game, 33 yards a game on the season for Colby Carthel's offense, as Colby Burrell fumbles the football at the 45-yard line. This is one of the better defensive units in terms of forcing turnovers. They have forced 20 turnovers on the season, have the Lumberjacks, and they think they may have forced number 21. But we're unpiling everyone.
Yeah, if they get this, it'd be their 9th fumble recovery of the year.
Yeah, coming in 8 fumble recoveries, 12 interceptions. That's top 20 in both stats, and it will be Lumberjack football. So Eli Anderson is screaming that it was Demon ball. SFA said it's theirs. So it is going to stay Northwestern State football.
And you see the ball here come out late. Good tackle there by...
Looks like it almost ended up back in Colby Burrell's hands as he was lying on the ground. It'll end up being third down. I wonder if we might have a review of this. Of course, every play is reviewed automatically, just a matter of if they stop the game to give it a longer look. And Colby Carthel is going to take a timeout.
Give him a little extra time
to
think about that.
That's right. He can also ask for a review. He does have the right to ask for a review. If he doesn't get it, costs him his timeout. So it will be challenged by Colby Carthel, said Craig Helzer. So he is going to go ahead and challenge the ruling on the field. So Craig Helzer will make his way across the field to check on that with our officiating crew. By the way, Helzer, our head referee. Umpire is Jim Losey. The head linesman, Robert Brown. Line judge, Jason Moore. Center judge is Tim Below. Back judge, Reginald Andrews. Side judge is Kevin Monson. The field judge is Jade McCrary. Jason, I want to, I need to figure something out here. So we put Jason Pugh in the polar bear suit, and I'm trying to see if we can get him to give us an indication of just how that was. We have to do this in a little bit. He is deep in chat over on the sideline. Now he
breaks away from duties.
That's right.
Yep.
As the review going on with Craig Helzer. And Jason, I'm curious, the experience inside the polar bear suit. Give us the lay of the land now that you're a free man.
Well, I'll tell you what, Patrick, with the way the breeze is coming through here, that polar bear suit felt pretty good. It was a little bit warm. It was a little bit echoey. We'll pick this back up in a second once we get this word from Craig Helzer.
Rolling fields upheld. Northwestern State's ball, 3rd down.
So the Demons will keep the ball. Jason?
So, yeah, just getting out of that thing, it was neat to get in it. And like I said, I'm a big mascot person, so it was kind of neat to see it from a different perspective. Not the easiest thing to walk in. It's very heavy, very big, which you would expect for a polar bear. I mean, this is a very big animal. But to walk through there, to see it through a little different view, also it's going to raise a little money for Northwestern State's athletic scholarship fund. James Stanfield, our producer, agreed to donate some money. We got another matching gift from someone on the sideline. So good reason to get in the suit. And again, if it dips down a couple more degrees, I may see if it's still back around here and warm back up, because it was nice to be wearing it probably on a real November night, but it's a little warm for November down here.
I think we could get him a Christmas present, some pajamas that are like a little bear thing.
The little footy pajamas, yeah.
He'd like that. That's what it sounds like. He's gets cozy in there.
Yeah. All right, it's 4th down and short. Demons are going to go for it again. They've already converted 1 4th down thanks to a fake punt. They're going to try to convert here. SFA bringing pressure from the outside, see if they change their look. And NSU will call a timeout as the play clock was about to expire.
Northwestern, first charge of the half. 30 seconds in length.
So all SFA here as the Lumberjacks started things off on the very first punt return, a 79-yarder for Bugs Mortimer, his 4th punt return touchdown of the season. By the way, found out Bugs Mortimer, why they call him Bugs. His given name is Devon Mortimer, but he said he was quick as a bug back in the day, and so it's usually a grandmother that tends to stick you with a nickname like that, and so they called him Bugs, and it's stuck since then. He goes by Bugs Mortimer.
No doubt that he's quick.
No, he is.
No doubt.
He is fantastic. And that's, Gary, a guy, as the Demons are now going to punt. Gary, a guy like that in special teams is one of those players that can make a real difference in the playoffs.
It really can. He can be a game changer. He could, get a key first down. There's a lot of things that a guy with his skill set can bring to a football team. And I know that Coach Carthel is really pleased to have him. And you take without him with Colin Harris, those two are dynamic.
Demons will punt it away. This one is high and short and bounces straight sideways. It was a bit of a high snap initially to Zach Stone, the redshirt sophomore. Stone was able to pull it down and find a way to get the punt away. And SFA, we'll see if Sam Vidlak continues here or if 9 for 10 for 207 yards and 3 touchdowns is good enough for Vidlak here in the first half. And yes, he is done. And that will bring in Gavin Rutherford, the redshirt sophomore from Katy, Texas, out of Cinco Ranch High School.
I think we've seen enough of Sam Vidlak. He's just been too outstanding tonight.
Yeah, he definitely healthy.
Yeah, he's good job by him.
9 for 10, as we mentioned, 207 yards and 3 touchdowns, and more good running room for SFA as the Lumberjacks will go over 100 yards rushing in the first half.
Yeah, that was Richard Reese that time, Patrick, and he had a good pace there running around the right side and picked a good spot.
Reese, by the way, was the Big 12 Freshman of the Year when he was at Baylor. And when you can add the Big 12 Freshman of the Year, and by the way, he's not your number one running back, you're doing pretty well, and that's exactly what SFA has going on is they get the completion out to Blaine Green, the senior from Allen, Texas. Correct me if I'm wrong, Gary. Allen has the giant stadium that everyone oohed and awed about for a while.
It started the mega stadium approach in Texas high school football, certainly. Allen, Texas.
So Reese will get the carry up the middle again and pick up the first down. And SFA with its superior size up front. And that's one of the things we talked about. Blaine McCorkle has mentioned over and over and over again. We're young, but we're also small. And it's guys that have to get bigger and stronger, and they're working at that. I mean, Keyshawn Reed is your nose guard, and he's 280 pounds at this point. Rutherford, good pocket, throws to the sideline. That one's almost intercepted.
He had a chance at it. He broke in front of it perfectly. Just got to catch that ball with your hands right there, young man. Great job that time by DJ Johnson pulling the trigger on it. Almost had him a pick.
Demons had a interception by Jamarian Bonner last week against Nichols, returned to the 2-yard line, overturned because of a hold in the secondary. Really terrific recognition. That is just the second incomplete pass of the ball game for SFA. They'll stay on the ground here. Another good hole inside the 20 and another first down. Again, that is Richard Reese, the senior from Belleville High School that Colby Carthel referred to as their change of pace guy. Spent 3 years at Baylor, and as we mentioned, the Big 12 Freshman of the Year a couple of years ago. They'll just stick with that outside zone approach, and Danny Sears will escort Reese out of bounds as SFA going into the bench here. And Gary, I can't imagine Colby Carthel could draw up a better scenario than what has played out here in the first half.
No, everything has gone pretty well for his football team. Really not any glaring errors or anything that they have done poorly.
Fourth down stops. That's all they got.
Maybe that one fake punt by Northwestern State, that fourth down, first down. But nonetheless, they've done everything they needed to. And what they're showing here, putting on display, is what they've done consistently throughout the year, and that is they're a quality football team. Up front on both sides of the ball, they've got big people that are very quality players, and that's what it takes to win in college football these days. You've got to have big people at the offensive and defensive lines that are really skilled, talented, and really have size. And it takes a little time to get there, and that's what Northwestern State's looking towards to try to improve. And Stephen F. Austin, they've got those guys already there.
That'll be a completion, and it'll bring up first and goal after Stetson Surratt will come away with that one, the sophomore from Midlothian, Texas. SFA continues to move quickly, and they will score right up the middle. That will be Jalen Jenkins with his second rushing touchdown of the ball game, and it is all SFA running away with this one here in the first half. And again, started with the first punt return. That set up everything. 79-yard return by Bugs Mortimer. And SFA is comfortably in command here on senior night in Natchitoches. Demons had a terrific opportunity to get a win last week down in Thibodaux. Had a 21-19 lead for the majority of the second half against Nichols. Then, as we mentioned, a long interception return down to the 2-yard line was overturned because of a holding in the secondary. On that drive, Nichols would take that penalty, go in and score to go up 26-21. The Demons would have one more shot at it and had a throw down to the goal line that was knocked away. And NSU, and this is the interesting thing about this team, Gary, is you see the large losses for Northwestern State, the 60, the big losses in non-conference play, 66-0 against Minnesota, 70-0 against Cincinnati. But the Demons have also been close a few times. They have 3 losses of 5 points or fewer, which is the most of those since 2016. So let's just say those games go the other way. This is a 4-win program instead of a 1-win program.
That's something that you can look at and you say, hey, if there were a couple of other plays that went our way in those tight ball games, you could have that type of a program. And, boy, there'd be feeling a lot better around Northwestern State here in Natchitoches if that was the case. But it just isn't.
A big hit laid down on Amaz Eugene.
Big tackle, yeah.
That was Chance Sauter, the safety. And that's why he probably has to wear that thing on his head, Gary, when you come and make hits like that. That'll ring your bell.
Yeah, heat-seeking missile with that big thing on his head.
Eli Anderson will stay in for Northwestern State.
Watch to the left here. You want to get popped like this? Take a look.
Good form tackle with the shoulder. Exactly what you want. Kept the head out of the way, which is good. But, you know, again, this Northwestern State team, they lose by 3 at Prairie View A&M. They lose by 3 at Houston Christian. They lose by 5 at Nichols last week. As there's a little jump ball for Ty Moore. He makes a terrific catch on the back shoulder fade. Ty Moore on his senior day.
Well, Ty's been one of those guys here, longtime player at Northwestern State, and, you know, a quality person on this offensive group and been a trusted wide receiver here. So get the ball out there to him. Just throw it out there, and good things happen usually.
Ty Moore, he's basically Northwestern State royalty, or at least the son of Northwestern State royalty. His father was a terrific football player at NSU. His mother is a Hall of Famer as a track and field star as Eli Anderson gets driven backwards. That'll be the 6th tackle for loss of the day for SFA. But, yeah, Ty Moore, Dad Glenn Moore was a football player at NSU, now the Baylor softball coach and having a lot of success there. His mom, Janice, there they are. You see Glenn Moore right there in the hat, and Janice Moore, and I actually got to see both of them as I was walking into the stadium, and I asked Janice, are there going to be some tears? And she said probably will be as they watch their kiddo in his final season. But Glenn Moore, the terrific Baylor softball coach, and Janice won the 1992 high jump championship for the Southland Conference. So that is a terrific athletic family as we take a look at your numbers. And as you might expect, it is all SFA. 354 yards to 85 at this point.
Well, Eli Anderson tosses it out there, and Amaz Eugene was the intended receiver. And as he turned forward, he saw, you can see the yards per play difference.
Was nearly 13-3.
Wow. There was a heat-seeking missile coming from SFA's defense towards the sideline. He didn't want to have any part of that one.
So Demons will face 3rd and long. Anderson going to throw to the deep middle and just nothing there. That's terrific coverage by Michael Patterson III. There is a flag down. Colby Carthel is already asking for it to be declined. So it would appear that it will be against NSU.
Yeah, Patterson the nickel.
Shift. Offense. That penalty declined.
And the Demons will punt it away again. NSU already has 6 different players who've run the football. And, of course, when your punter is one of those, and you have a wide receiver who's run a reverse, that is certainly apt to happen. Already 4 quarterbacks have played in this game. That a very nice high driving kick back to the 18-yard line. That was a 54-yard kick.
It's not Bugs.
No, Bugs's day is over. And a late flag comes flying in, and that might be against Landry Huddleston.
A little extracurricular, Mr. Landry.
Huddleston was not the guy who actually got the tackle that time. That was Ryan Tyler. But similar stories for Ryan Tyler and Landry Huddleston. We take a look at the tackle there. There was a block in the back on Huddleston. Actually, I thought it was Tyler that made the tackle. And there you see Huddleston coming in with the shoulder to the helmet.
Unsportsmanlike conduct, number 33, Northwestern. 15-yard penalty, dead ball spot. First down.
Yeah, a little late hit there coming down.
Yeah,
Landry Huddleston.
So Huddleston and Tyler all involved there. And Jason, an appropriate day for us to show Landry Huddleston, even on a penalty.
Yeah, Landry Huddleston, Ryan Tyler, both guys who have military running through their families. Landry's uncle was a Green Beret. He is possibly heading to the military or heading into the strength and conditioning coaching realm, both of which kind of fit the way he plays. Yes, he got the penalty there, but last week, a perfectly timed hit on special teams. Patrick, you mentioned his role has diminished a little bit with the scheme change on defense, but it's made him a better special teams player. Ryan Tyler was selected as a captain for this team, one of the 2 offensive captains, and his dad has a 25-year active duty, around 13 deployments, including 5 in Iraq and Afghanistan total. He fought in Fallujah. We are thankful for his service and that of Landry Huddleston and everyone as we honor the military here at Northwestern State.
Holding, 71, offense. 10-yard penalty, spot of the foul. Repeat. First down.
Now, someone didn't like the call.
First mistake.
In the background, basically, yes. It will back SFA up as the clock sits at just over 3 minutes left to go. All Lumberjacks here right before halftime. Gavin Rutherford remains in at quarterback. He's going to go ahead and pass. And another guy wide open down the middle. Good hit, but even better job holding on to that one for Aiden Meeks, the redshirt sophomore from Rockwall, Texas.
Yeah, good catch that time by him and taking a big shot there as well. A lot of guys getting in the action here tonight, Patrick, and you know they're showing up here for Stephen F. Austin.
Pitch to the outside, nothing but daylight down the sideline, and it will take a hit by Jakarian Lathan to stop Jalen Jenkins from getting his third rushing touchdown of the first half.
Yeah, Jenkins got to that edge pretty quickly and made the turn and saw the pay dirt, but JC out of the backfield, defensive back.
You know, it's interesting in talking to Colby Carthel, he mentioned this year they are not really trying to score as many points this year, so to speak. When they get a lead, they go ahead and try to sit on it. But just marching right down the field, the run game has been so good. No signal yet of touchdown.
It's a touchdown.
It is.
Richard
It's definitely a
Reese.
touchdown, but no one signaled it.
I'm not sure that there was anybody in position to signal that because
Nobody.
Richard Reese just ran around the entire Northwestern State defense with his speed and just kind of clipped it into the end zone there. It was great footwork.
I don't think anybody has yet signaled a touchdown. Watch and see on the far side. Reese gets the corner. Official there doesn't signal it. There's no one behind him.
Well, there was no official on the goal line.
No, there was nobody over there. So another touchdown for Stephen F. Austin. They are now over 400 yards of offense in the first half. But I was mentioning Colby Carthel has said that they're more in the mode of trying to just get wins. He's not as concerned with style points. So once they get up comfortably, they go ahead and sit on it. So it'll be interesting to see what they do, the approach they have in the second half, as they are absolutely dominant here tonight against Northwestern State. The Lumberjacks, and Colby Carthel was pretty honest with us as well, Gary. He knows this game against a 1-10 program was going to hurt their strength of schedule no matter what they did. Come out and win 56-0 or not, that was going to hurt their strength of schedule. They would probably need some help, but they've at least done their part to show why they deserve to be a top 8 seed.
Well, you take this game, and if you just take it completely out of the mix and what the forecasting, you know, when the selection committee looks at Stephen F. Austin, they should really look at all their strength of schedule, you know, where it started, and they have played tremendously throughout the entire season with all the opponents that they have played, and they've done a great job. It's not a team that, you know, is looking for style points. This is a team that gets things done on the field, offensively and defensively. They will punch you in the mouth, and that's exactly what this team has done here tonight. They've come out here to Natchitoches, Louisiana, with one thing in mind: win big, and be confident. They've done that.
All Lumberjacks says. The other thing is, of course, for Northwestern State, they are going to try to find some silver linings in the second half. But for SFA, they also have to scoreboard watch a little bit, Gary, because they need certain things to go right the rest of, or the last week of conference play as well. So NSU will take over. And I will be interested, Gary, to see if you may see some of the younger guys for Northwestern State get in, as you now have, obviously, you're inside of the 4-game redshirt rule. So if you want to throw, I mean, anyone out there you want to at this point, as long as they haven't played 4 games.
Sure, you know, that's definitely at the disposal of the coaches, and they've got that all charted out. They know who is available to be in there as far as a freshman and what their potential 4-game opportunity to play would be.
Last year, Blaine McCorkle had a giant board of all of his freshman class that they were trying to make sure that they could redshirt as many of them as they could. They were the youngest team in America last year, and because they redshirted everybody, they were the youngest team in America again this year. So why didn't you warn me that the 2-minute timeout was here, Gary? You didn't warn me. It's not good. You gotta be on top of that. Warn me of these things. All right, 2-minute break. We'll come back, wrap up the first half. Now the students are hanging in there a bit. At least they get to see themselves on the scoreboard, and there you see some volleyball and basketball players. And meanwhile, a big play for NSU. Jimmy Duncan and Brendan Webb have been two of the real bright lights of this team, and that was Brendan Webb, the freshman from Gilmer, Texas. He had a long touchdown a couple of games ago for NSU. Jimmy Duncan, the freshman from Ash, has also shown up. And
you just have to sometimes throw the ball out there, try to let your receivers make a play, and let speed and youth possibly take over. And sometimes good things can happen. Northwestern State hasn't had that many shots like that down the field to make those big plays, and that's something that needs to be looked at.
Mayan Hicks will collect the run around the left side. Demons are in no hurry here, as it is all SFA, and again began with the very first punt. Demons went 3 and out, punted it away, and Bugs Mortimer went 79 yards for the touchdown, and that just began the onslaught here. Sam Vidlak was 9 for 10, 207 yards and 3 touchdowns. Demons with a little reverse. They've got some blockers out in front, and Brendan Webb tripped up at the last moment, or that might have gone to the house. Demons have run 2 reverses here, and both have been very successful.
Well, they should run more. Does that sound right? No. Good job. They're getting around. They're moving the chains once again. So Northwestern State just trying to pull things out of the old bag and make something happen.
That is Brendan Webb's first rushing yardage of the season for the freshman. He got 11, had the alley set up. If he doesn't get tripped up,
yeah,
that might go all the way to the house. And now the Demons kind of stuck in a weird place with the clock moving at 42 seconds left. They're trying to still run the offense, going to run the reverse flea flicker. Anderson to the sideline, and that one is caught. That's a terrific grab by Joseph Moreland. Wonder if the Demons may call a timeout here.
Pull out all the magic plays that you can and try to make something happen. That's what's going on.
I'll be honest. There you go. Blaine McCorkle did call a timeout. I was a little surprised he didn't immediately. You see the reverse pass. And really thrown to a tough spot. It was really well defended for SFA by Sako Alafipo, the redshirt junior from Henderson, Nevada. He was in good position, but ultimately, how about this? So speaking of Sako Alafipo, went to the New Mexico Military Academy for a year, was a 3-star recruit. But how about this, Gary? His dad and his mom, he's from Henderson, Nevada. His dad and his mom both played at Louisiana Tech.
How'd they get away?
I don't know. His dad, Silu, played football at Louisiana Tech. His mom, Tafuula, and I hope I'm pronouncing that correct. There you see Sako. Yep. They both played. She played women's basketball. He played football. Did Alafipo's parents. So I guess it makes sense that this is somewhat of a homecoming, at least for his family here in Northwest Louisiana. Another flea flicker. This time it's going to be almost a sack. Anderson gets away and will throw that one away. It looked like it might have been caught by a tuba player down there.
So that has been 4 plays in a row where Northwestern has a pitch to a mystery player.
Yeah. I mean, you can't take them with you, I guess. We've seen a reverse flea flicker, a straight reverse, then a straight flea flicker. And that one, that's a fumble. You gotta come up with that, Lumberjack. Yeah, that's not good. Yeah, you deserve to be on the big screen. You gotta get hands. If the ball's thrown to you, Gary, you gotta come up with it.
Yeah, most people would say that.
Straight drop, a straight throw to the corner. That one is caught. Great catch. And a big hit laid down on Brendan Webb. You wonder if McCorkle might call another timeout with 10 seconds. Did he get out of bounds? I think they are ruling he went. Nope, the clock is starting, and McCorkle calls the timeout. So NSU will have it 1st and 10 at the 11-yard line. There's just 5 seconds left, though.
Why does he not hesitate to even call the timeout?
Right. I think that's the thing is there was one here after the big play on the reverse pass that you'll call timeout immediately, and then again you can't take them with you at this point. But I'm wondering if Blaine McCorkle may ask for more time to be put back on the clock. So NSU at the 11-yard line. This is one of those, just go ahead and chunk it into the end zone and see what happens. See if you can get someone free. Demons do have nearly 150 yards of offense here in the first half. Now, granted, none of it has meant a lot in terms of points. There's 0 points on the scoreboard, but Blaine McCorkle's looking for positives as his team heads into the offseason. And one last positive to see if Eli Anderson.
7 seconds on the game clock.
So they're going to put
Thank
7
you.
seconds on the clock. It did look like he called a timeout a little earlier than 5.
Yeah, I would expect him to get that just a little quicker.
So they'll go back to 7 seconds on the clock.
7 seconds. On the game clock. Thank you.
There we go. Now we're ready to go. This will basically be the last play.
You could possibly get
that's
to
true.
Really quick out or slant. It doesn't really matter, but
Anderson's going to scramble up the middle, and that's not going to do it. And that's how the half will end.
Timeout again.
Do they have a timeout? I don't think they have a timeout left.
That is correct.
So that's how the half will end. Eli Anderson needing to go ahead and throw it in the end zone, and instead he ran it for a couple of yards and went down, and we'll be interested to see what happens in the second half for both teams as Northwestern State and Stephen F. Austin in the battle for the Chief, and the Chief is definitely heading back to Nacogdoches. Question remains, what's the final score?
studio. When we come back, we'll be joined by Northwestern State women's basketball coach Anna Nims. You're watching Southland Conference football on ESPN. Welcome back into the studio, joined now by Northwestern State women's basketball coach Anna Nims, her 6th season already, 6 years, coach.
I know.
Hard to believe. This one started with a long road trip, one that I know in the middle game you were very happy, and in the last one, oh, so close to getting that big win in your home state of Kansas. Let's go to the win over Wichita State and what that meant for this program, just from a confidence standpoint and from a jumping off point this year.
Yeah, I mean, I think what's really special about that is we have so many new faces. You know, we're going to be growing and building and kind of getting to know one another on the court, I would say all of non-conference, and to come off a really tough loss versus Nebraska and bounce back, have a few intentional days of practice, scout the heck out of a team, and be so intentional about what they did. It was phenomenal. Obviously, it's the first road game, American win in program history, you know, so that's exciting. You know, it was a 20-point game down to the last 3 minutes. We kind of got a little loose with it, so they were able to tighten it up. But, I mean, what a paramount win for the program and kind of just put us in a state of belief that we have all the pieces. Now it's just about getting better and being more disciplined in what we do.
Well, you took Kansas down to the wire, and I know as a native of the Sunflower State, that was one you really, really wanted to get. But you come home opener against Ecclesia, not Ecclesia, Ecclesia, program record 18 threes in a game, and I think the neatest thing about that was very spread out. It wasn't just Viatama and a couple other players. It was like 1 through 15 on the roster.
Yeah, the girls did an awesome job. You know, and circling back real quick to that KU game, you're playing in Allen Fieldhouse, the mecca of all basketball, to take them down to single digits in the final 4 minutes. It was so close, but no matter what a fun opportunity to play in front of my family, to play in Allen Fieldhouse, to really have the opportunity to talk to the girls about the history of basketball, and I think so often that's getting lost anymore, and I think it's important to respect the game before us and where it came from. But yeah, fast forward to our game, 18 threes, and I think the girls executed well, but just to make 18 threes is impressive. Whether they're open or contested or whatnot, that's impressive on 31 assists. You know, and I believe everybody that stepped foot into the game scored, and everybody stepped foot into the game. And so it was a very selfless, record-breaking night, and that's impressive. And it also is a testament to, you know, I talk about the firepower that we have, or that I believe we have, whether it's still, you know, in our starting lineup or coming off the bench. I think it's there. It's just about them finding that comfortability on the court, and I think, you know, that last Friday was a good opportunity to see that.
31 assists is a big number. It's a bigger number, as you mentioned. You got a lot of new faces. This is game 4. This is not game 24 or 34. So already seeming to see some on-court chemistry developing.
Yeah, you know, we work on it daily in practice. We're really putting them through the grind. They have to band together. You know, with the chaos we try to implement in practice and just some of that toughness, they have to band together, and they're doing a good job doing that. I think we have really good captains, too. We were able to, after that Midwest swing, come home and really vote on what it means to be a captain. I think it's hard to do that with so many new people before the games ever start. And so we did that after the fact, and to see T and V and Joss earn the opportunity to lead their team, I think, you know, I think that's a real foundational piece. And what's impressive is we actually had a few other girls that missed it by a vote, you know, and so when you're looking at your team and 5 of 15 girls are dang near voted team captains, I think that speaks volumes as to the leadership, and then the young leadership at that. 2 of the 3 of them are sophomores.
And one of, sorry,
go ahead,
there. One of those is Viatama. You mentioned her. Great game against Nebraska, really was the one that pushed the offense there. But the reigning freshman of the year in the Southland, and she's off to a tremendous start. And not just, as you mentioned, not just as a player, but as a leader. She is. You know, anytime I have the opportunity to talk about V, it's not just going to be about basketball. She's the epitome of how you do anything is how you do everything. She embodies that quote. So much credit to her family and how she was raised by her mom and dad. But she does it. She does it in the classroom. 4.0, nursing student, works tirelessly. If we have the opportunity to get more reps in, if we have the opportunity to watch a little more film, she's always going to be the kid that wants that. And that speaks volumes to who she is, but also, you know, it's to no surprise why she is as good as she is. She puts in the work, and although she was freshman of the year last year, she has really big goals for herself this year that aren't just revolved around scoring. Well, next chance and last chance for a month to see Northwestern State women's basketball at home tomorrow, 6:30 against Arkansas Baptist. I want to thank Anna Nims for joining us. We'll get it back to Patrick and Gary for the second half of Stephen F. Austin and Northwestern State. You're watching Southland Football on ESPN.
We're at halftime of one of the biggest rivalries in the nation, Northwestern State and Stephen F. Austin. When we come back, Gary and I will take a look at your first half stats and get you ready for the second half of the Lumberjacks and the Demons. All SFA in that first half, 48-0. Started with a 79-yard punt return by Bugs Mortimer. And it was the offense after that. Gary, the stats, well, pretty much tell the story. Demons got some yardage late on some trick plays, but ultimately it has been an SFA absolute axing, if you will.
Well, I'll tell you, Sam Vidlac has done a very good job throwing the football. And you look at his numbers on tonight, and that's pretty impressive what he's been able to accomplish. 9 of 10 for 207 yards. And he has 3 touchdown passes, and this is just a total of all those here. It's all SFA here tonight here in Natchitoches, and they're a quality football team, and unfortunately for the Demons, they have not been able to really make anything really constructive happen throughout that entire first half.
You'll hear from SFA head coach Colby Carthel with Jason Pugh coming up here in just a moment as his team took a 48-0 lead into halftime here in the Battle for the Chief. Again, one of the terrific rivalries in all of college athletics, and that's part of what makes college sports so much fun, is the various rivalries. So getting ready to kick it away is Ben Jump, who boots that one solidly into and out of the back of the end zone. Jason got a chance to catch up with SFA head coach Colby Carthel.
SFA coach Colby Carthel after a first half in which Stephen F. Austin started with a great punt return by Bugs Mortimer. And really, Coach, not a lot went wrong for you there.
No, it didn't. These guys are really motivated. They want to go home, spend Thanksgiving with their families. They're out to prove they're a top 8 team. 48-0. We've already unloaded the bus. Top defense, top special teams in the country. They've got a great case for top 8, winning 10 in a row.
30 more minutes. Just got to finish making that statement.
You bet. We're running out of guys. I mean, we got the 3s in already. We're not going to run it up on them, but we're going to play our brand of football. Next play is all that matters. It's a great team. We've done a great job all year. Excited about the playoffs. They deserve a top 8.
Appreciate you, Coach. Go talk to your team.
That's good.
I mean, it's exactly what you want if you're Colby Carthel.
He's making a statement about his football team.
Well,
he very deservedly so.
Absolutely. And here's the thing. He knows a lot of the selection committee is watching because it's a Thursday night game.
Exactly.
And by the way, hello to all the selection committee members. Hope everyone is comfortable and hope everyone enjoyed Jason Pugh in a polar bear costume. But in the serious business, SFA, I think it made the exact statement they needed to make, and that is they are a team that deserves that top 8 seed. I don't think there's any doubt of that.
TFL there for Northwestern State.
That was DJ Johnson, the redshirt junior from St. Aug out of New Orleans, as NSU still has largely their ones in, while SFA is running a lot of 2s and 3s. Gavin Rutherford, the number 2 quarterback, is in the ball game for SFA. Going to throw to the middle. That one is batted in the air and incomplete.
Yeah, it's well delivered there by Rutherford. He just could not pull it in. There was a receiver. It was a good toss, and Isaiah Davis unable to pull that in.
By the way, I believe that is Bryson Broadway, who is in the ball game now at quarterback.
Oh, Broadway was there. Okay.
I thought it was. I have to double check my numbers there very quickly, as there will be a punt for SFA. This is not something they've had to do much. Matter of fact, it is their first punt of the ball game. We get to see the Aussie, Laki Pazaban, sends that one away. Jason got a chance to catch up with Northwestern State head coach Blaine McCorkle. I'm sure that probably wasn't the most pleasant conversation Jason's had. Jason, what did Coach McCorkle have to say?
Yeah, didn't have to say much, Patrick. It's kind of just build on that last drive. Obviously, you want to finish, get some points, but there is a little bit of momentum as the offense takes the field, at least the feeling's there. You just kind of at some point also turn your palms up and kind of have to shake your head. Talked about SFA being at their 2s and 3s. Obviously, we've talked about how depleted Northwestern's defense is from a health standpoint, so a lot of those 1s and 2s that are in for Northwestern didn't start the year that way.
And Jason, what about Abram Johnston? Any update there?
No, again, Gary, the thought was he would come back in, and obviously right now with a 48-0 deficit, it's probably discretion being the better part of valor, keeping Eli Anderson in there, letting him have a little senior day moment, keeping Abram healthy going into next year.
Yeah, good long run there by Northwestern State.
Colby Burrell, the graduate student, gets it out near midfield. And Gary, if you're Blaine McCorkle, right, how do you approach this second half in order to try to take something positive going into the offseason?
I think for Coach McCorkle, it's all about the next play. You've always got to get better, and you've got to just do the next play, do your job, and it'll take care of itself. And that's what you have to teach and coach, and you have to live by it.
And the Demons will keep mostly their 1s in here. As you heard Colby Carthel mention, they're unloading the bus, a lot of 2s and 3s in there. Burrell does well just to try to get back to the line of scrimmage, stretching that all the way out to the far sideline.
Second down.
So NSU working the ball up to close to midfield. They had the ball down at the 11-yard line with 7 seconds left to go in the first half, and Eli Anderson did not throw one in the end zone. He ran for a couple of yards and was taken down, and that ended the half. Anderson will keep around the left side, and there's not much there. And
big fella.
Yeah, you probably don't want to run right into a guy wearing a 90 number and let him plant you, but that's exactly what happened. Kamard Kimball, the 309-pound sophomore out of Houston, Texas, takes him down.
Yeah, big sophomore. You see the size and girth that this Stephen F. Austin team has all across their fronts on their offensive and defensive lines. That's what really makes them a quality football team at the FCS level.
Now 3rd down and long. The Demons have not converted a 3rd down yet tonight. And Anderson's going to have to do some serious work if he's going to, and he will go down with a sack. Back at the 42-yard line, as Anderson did not have much opportunity to set in the pocket and look around, and the Demons will have to punt it away. For NSU, this will be their 8th punt of the ball game. Zach Stone has done most of it. Then we also saw an Abram Johnston quick kick as well. Stone kind of got brushed across the leg there as he got that one away. It bounces sideways and goes out of bounds inside the 25-yard line, and we'll take a break. SFA punted for the first time on its first possession. They've got basically their 4th string quarterback in right now, and trying to shorten this game as much as possible.
Welcome to Casati Pines at Coshada, nestled in the natural wetlands of southwest Louisiana on 65 acres of Looking Glass Lakes, surrounded by stately pines and live oaks. It's an experience unlike any other. A challenging 18-hole par 72 championship course, 6 sets of tees, and a unique 19th tiebreaker hole. Ranked the 18th best golf course in the USA by Golf Advisor. Casati Pines at Coshada in Kinder, Louisiana, Louisiana's best bet.
Looking for cleaner energy? Propane is energy for everyone. Propane water heaters are very cost efficient, and the savings are even greater with a tankless propane water heater. We all know that Louisiana propane is a safe and environmentally friendly fuel. So why not go green while you save some green? I'm Miss Louisiana, Gabrielle McLeod, and for more information, visit louisianapropane.com.
Hi, I'm Nancy Landry. Knowing the rules of the game is critical for both athletes and fans. Elections are no different, and there's a few new rules for Louisiana's primary elections. Before voting kicks off in 2026, make sure you know about the changes. Keeping your registration current ensures you'll get the right ballot because ballots are based on party, and the changes only affect a few offices. To learn more, visit govote.com or download the GoVote app.
Do you enjoy college sports? The athletes, the excitement, the competition? Protect it. Don't lose the excitement of national competition. Don't jeopardize women's sports and Olympic sports. Make sure your favorite athletes continue to enjoy the many important benefits provided to them, and ensure that we preserve and standardize name, image, and likeness rights. Tell Congress to pass the SCORE Act at passthescoreact.com.
We mentioned basically the 4th quarterback for SFA, Bryson Broadway, the true freshman from Magnolia West High School, Magnolia, Texas, is in the game. JT Kitna is their 3rd QB, and he comes in to do a little run game and doing some passing as well, but he is not playing in this one, and another big run around the outside. That was Richard Reese again, the Baylor transfer. And Gary, a lot of teams in the South, 3 teams in the Southland specifically looking for a playoff berth, and this SFA team chief among them.
Yeah, you're trying to get this push here. This is exactly what this is all about. It's about where you're going to potentially seed the potential players out of the Southland Conference in the postseason tournament. Conference bid, you win the championship, with SFA has done. They're going to be there in that tournament, but still a little bit of selection committee work to be done yet before we figure out whether or not there's going to be a couple or even 3 potentially Southland Conference teams make that year-end tournament, and there's still a little more to be seen after this weekend.
Yeah, it feels like, I mean, obviously Stephen F. Austin is the automatic qualifier, so they're in no matter what, but certainly feels like Lamar and Southeastern Louisiana have made their cases. There's another big run and a little flip for a first down for Reese.
Reese is speedy. I like his game. Take a look at him here. He's got the speed and he's got the flips too.
Yeah, sometimes you got to make that happen. Reese again, he's going to get the majority of the load here. And by the way, just taking a look down in Hammond right now is Southeastern Louisiana leads Nichols 31-23. That's basically a must-win for Southeastern. You can't lose to Nichols on your home turf. That would leave the Lions at 8-4. Again, a terrific resume. It's a little check down completion and a first down for the Lumberjacks, keeping the chains moving. That was Derek Bowler. He had a touchdown grab, the first offensive touchdown of the ball game. You got to like his shorts too, Gary. I mean, the guys, I don't know, I don't understand anymore.
I'm not a fan.
I'm not either.
I'm not going to comment further. Leave it at that.
Just not I don't know. A couple of years ago, they were sending people out of the game for a play if their legs, their pants weren't below the knees. But now you see a guy like Bowler. I mean, he's literally wearing just shorts. And he's pulling them up. And look at the cuffs, Gary. They're cut.
You can't get me to comment, Patrick. I'm not going any
I'm just
further.
saying
I won't go into that rat
And by the
race.
way, Troy Santa Marina is also guarding him in shorts. I don't understand it. If you're going to have a uniform code, then do it. And this is another run. Again, that's Reese. He's picking up a first down as SFA just continues the offensive onslaught, averaging double-digit yards per play all night long. It doesn't matter who's back there. And by the way, continuing to run with a lot of pace here, up 48-0. Reese again finds a crease. That rhymed, in case you weren't aware. Crease for Reese. Just thought, in case you had one too many hits to the head during your Giants career.
Quality work, Patrick.
Well, thank you.
Quality,
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Now we've got an injured player for SFA.
Well, you just shows you that the depth here that Stephen F. Austin has. You got some younger players, and Jordan Neighbors getting looked at there on the field for Stephen F. Austin.
Well, and it's interesting as well, Gary, because not only is it an opportunity to get some young guys in, but it's an opportunity to get some veterans in that maybe don't see that much playing time, but are valuable practice guys, right? And that's one of the things I enjoy about these types of games is it's you empty the bench, but it's not necessarily all freshmen that you're bringing in. Sometimes it's guys that are just down on the depth chart but still have some experience.
A lot of times, most teams rarely go beyond their two deep as far as players on their roster making it onto the field. And you're seeing here Stephen F. Austin having the ability to play their twos, their threes, and maybe a pinch of guys that are maybe not even that close to the top getting a chance to play. And we'll see some more of that tonight, I'm sure.
It's interesting. We were talking about Robert Keller earlier. The left tackle was a walk-on at SFA. And one of the things Colby Carthel talked about is with scholarship limits and team limits, roster size limits, that guys like Robert Keller are going to be fewer and far between. As there's going to be a touchdown on terrific individual effort by Bowler. He picks up his second receiving touchdown of the ball game, and SFA goes over 50.
Yeah, Bowler sticks that ball out over the end zone there just as he's getting tackled and gets it on across the end line. Ruled a touchdown. I think I'm right in saying so, that it was called right there at the sideline.
That's a pretty impressive individual effort against four guys.
You see the ball stuck out there as he's still controlling the football inside the pylon.
That was basically 1-on-4 at the end. And
yeah, Fernando Washington had a chance to take him down around the 10-yard line. He couldn't get him down.
So SFA continues to pour it on as another touchdown pass for the Lumberjacks. That is their fourth TD pass of the ball game. And it is now 55-zip. Derek Bowler got himself his second touchdown. Also went ahead and pulled his shorts back up a little bit more to make sure they weren't too close to his knee. Bowler, by the way, played 7 games last year for SFA after transferring from Indiana, where he spent a season and redshirted. He was a 3-star recruit out of high school in Miami, out of Palmetto High School. But last year, Gary, 7 games, 2 catches, 12 yards. This year, coming in, 13 catches, 156 and 2 TDs, and he's doubled his touchdown production.
Good night for him, for sure.
And those are the kind of things I enjoy seeing in games like this, is guys who maybe haven't had as much statistical love throughout the course of the season.
It's all about opportunity. Just get the opportunity to make the plays and then go there.
Yeah, and the SFA Lumberjacks sitting several guys, including one of their top receivers, Clayton Wayland. He's sitting for this game. So because of that, get an opportunity, as you mentioned, and Derek Bowler taking advantage. Had the first touchdown of the game for the offense of SFA. The Demons will start with a little counter. Eli Anderson remains in at quarterback for NSU and got a helmet that came off.
A little bit of push there by the offensive line here. That's a little impressive to get about 3 or 4 yards on that first down carry. So a little positive there, moving that defensive front for Stephen F. Austin.
Yeah, and it's interesting because of the youth of NSU and the kind of size differential. The 3s, 2 3s, 4s for SFA are kind of equivalent to the Northwestern State 1s at this point. And that's not a disparaging comment on NSU. It's just youth. And again, Blaine McCorkle said, hey, I'm coming in. I'm going to turn this thing upside down. I'm going to go ahead and just send it down to its foundation and then build it back up from there. And that's exactly what he's doing. Again, the youngest team in America last year, the youngest team in America this year, with 70% of their roster freshmen or sophomores.
Yeah, that's definitely the number, and just got to grow with it. It just takes time. And here it is. Here's a learning chance. You got a third and manageable situation here. What's the play call? And just got to execute it.
Demons with nearly 100 yards rushing on the ball game. Quick slant. That one is caught. Cameron Davis into Lumberjack territory with a first down.
Well, I saw something there on that play that I've never seen ever in college football. I saw a loop stunt with the nose tackle coming all the way around the defensive end. If we could see a replay of that, that would be amazing. Check this out. Watch the nose tackle. He goes all the way around. I haven't seen that before ever.
He ended up getting picked up by the running back all the way outside of left tackle, Gary. Hey, if you're going to run some exotic stuff, now's the time to do it, right? Put it on film. Make whoever SFA sees in the first round of the playoff worry that the nose tackle is going to stunt all the way outside the left tackle. Not much there. Again, the SFA defense has been very good. They came in on the season with 94 tackles for loss. They already have 10 in this one. So over 100 tackles for loss on the year for the Lumberjack defense.
Yeah, and you add that to the superlativeness that they've had with turnovers. Had 20 turnovers coming in here. They got one in here at least tonight.
Little play action. Anderson throwing back shoulder, and Cameron Davis got thrown out of bounds, and both officials could see that one. The linesman Jason Moore and the field judge Jade McCrary both throwing their flags on that one. And I believe the linesman is saying, yes, you're not allowed to throw the receiver out of bounds.
Pass interference, number 18 defense. Ball in place, a spot of the foul. Automatic first down.
So if you want to look at actual negatives for the SFA team, they run the ball. They're very balanced offensively. That's good. Good numbers offensively. Defensively, we talked about their elite. Really the only thing they have going against them is they are penalty prone. They are plus 100 in both penalties per game and penalty yardage per game. Average over 7 penalties for about 70 yards a game. That is bottom 100 plus in the nation. So
what was
again,
what was that penalty on them tonight?
That penalty is now 4 for 37. So they're actually doing well.
A little better.
Yeah,
little better.
doing well tonight. But that is one of those things, Gary, as playoff games, especially you get deeper in the playoffs, it is so many little things that decide those games. And a random 15-yard penalty here or a face mask there can mean the difference between advancing in the playoffs and going back home. So the Demons with their second deepest penetration of the ball game. Behind Eli Anderson, trying to set up the screen. He's got blockers out in front. Well set up for Jeremiah James, and he will take it inside the 15-yard line.
Yeah, good screen pass here to the right side for Northwestern State. They just kind of tossed it out there. He's got a caravan in front of him, and James does a good job just finding it out there. Move those chains. Take a look here. The big guys getting out in front, all three of them there, taking a look and making sure that Jeremiah gets a clear running path, and he does. Breaks one tackle and gets down inside the 20-yard line.
Demons had an injury on the sideline. Out in front of that play was Caleb Billiot.
Well, he's that offensive center that's been with this Northwestern State team all season long. He's led that offensive line all year and been a real constant up there for him.
So Craig Helzer just told you we're taking a break. As Caleb Billiot getting that shoulder looked at. Northwestern State with the ball down around the 10, trying to score for the first time.
Super One Foods is proud to be named the official grocery store of the Northwestern State University Demons. No matter where you gather to watch the game, we've got everything you need at Super One Foods, all at super low prices. Plus, you can order online and enjoy same-day pickup with our convenient curbside service. Talk about a game changer. Score big when you shop at Super One Foods, your official NSU Demons grocery store.
Northwestern, now. It's more than a slogan. It's a promise. At Northwestern State University, we have a 140-year tradition of excellence. But our focus is your future. With 100+ student clubs and activities, 4 housing complexes, and 14 NCAA D1 athletic teams, your experience will be bold, brave, and unforgettable. Northwestern, now.
Yeah.
Glad we got Jersey Mike's for the game.
Wait, does our mascot look like Danny DeVito to you?
Yeah, it does. That doesn't matter. This is a commercial for Jersey Mike's, where the subs matter most. Freshly sliced right in front of you. That's what they're all about.
You on the cheer squad?
And up see Daisy. Yeah!
Ooh.
Oh, don't worry about me. Focus on those subs. Where the subs matter most. It's a Jersey Mike's thing. A sub above.
Whether it's in the trailer, behind the camera, or on the air, NSU has a place for you. Learn the ins and outs of an ESPN broadcast while getting a full-fledged education in sports media or broadcast journalism. Northwestern State University. New media, journalism, and communication arts. Learn more at nsula.edu/new media.
Caleb Billiot, the Demons center, the 5th-year senior from Houma. Came in a couple of years ago from Louisiana Tech. Getting that shoulder looked at. Eli Anderson has gone the distance after Abram Johnston left the ball game in the first half. Anderson hands off. Nice job bouncing it to the outside by Colby Burrell. He'll take it inside the 10-yard line. Demons, this has been one of the areas that they have struggled all season long in the red zone. Just 59% of their red zone trips end in points, and just 13 of those, 9 touchdowns on their 22 trips inside the red zone.
Yeah, it's been really tough sledding here for Northwestern State in the red zone, and we've joked occasionally here on air about oftentimes they go backwards.
Yeah.
And it's not a good thing. So got to find ways to just be a little more polished and make things happen better.
Play action. They're going to throw to the back of the end zone. There's Cameron Davis for the touchdown for NSU. Eli Anderson with his first touchdown pass as a Northwestern State Demon. He gets some love from Ty Moore. And Cameron Davis comes away with the second touchdown receiving of his season. The redshirt freshman from nearby Clarence.
Well, no goose egg on the scoreboard tonight. Northwestern State gets that 6 points, that touchdown. Good job bringing the ball down there. Good job of getting it in the end zone, out of the red zone.
Extra point almost blocked. That's going to be 2 flags. And the Demon kicker gets absolutely wiped out. Grayson Litton, as the ROTC gets to go through the count out.
Yeah.
I imagine they're probably feeling pretty happy that they're not doing the SFA count out.
Yeah, that would be tough.
That'd be a lot of push-ups.
Roughing the kicker. Number 21, defense. That 15-yard penalty will be enforced on the kickoff.
Well, and that's, Gary, that's one of those unnecessary things, right? If you're Javen Mayfield, you don't need to be trying to come in and block an extra point in this portion of the game. But Cameron Davis, nice route, got open in the back of the end zone. Good touch from Eli Anderson.
Yeah, it was. It's just a good little play there. Little separation there in the end zone for him, and Cam Davis comes down with that kick pretty easily.
So Northwestern State gets on the board. Demon offense averages just 10 points per ball game coming in. But here's the thing, Gary, they're actually having a pretty nice night in terms of yardage. Now, some of that is late first half, now early second half against the 2s and 3s of SFA. But the Demons with very good balance. They've run it for 100. They've thrown for 128. Certainly some things to like. Abram Johnston had 11 yards passing. Eli Anderson has 117 yards passing and a touchdown. And Ben Jump, Gary, 6'3", 275. The freshman from Airline High School in Bossier City, and he will kick the field goal, I think. I think that one's good. Yeah.
That's good from 65 or 60.
And Ben Jump looks like a defensive lineman out there that is on the kickoff for NSU.
Long time ago, we had a kicker here named Leo Clement from South Louisiana.
Yeah.
Strongest player on the football team as a kicker.
And the kicker, okay.
Yeah, Leo, if you're out there, hello, buddy.
There's Ben. Ben Jump, the freshman from Airline, where he was teammates with one of the quarterbacks for Northwestern State, who has not played this year, Ben Taylor, who threw for over 10,000 yards in his high school career, but is redshirting this season. As SFA going to keep it on the ground here. I wonder if they'll start maybe moving a little more slowly, running a little more play clock here to shorten this game. So far, they have stayed tempo.
Yeah, they're just going at their own pace. Their own tempo is what they do.
So they lined up quickly. Now we'll take a little more play clock. And you probably want to run that thing down under 10 every time. You're going to throw the quick bubble screen, and nice tackle on the outside. DJ Johnson again. Johnson, the redshirt junior we mentioned from St. Aug, didn't play last year for the Demons after playing 6 games 2 years ago and 1 game in 2022.
Yeah, well, 35 has shown up in a few plays here tonight.
Got a stoppage of play here. I'm not sure exactly why. But whatever it is, we got it figured out. Wind the clock. Broadway in, handing it off. Kamarian Ivory. And on the stop after a gain of a few.
Yep, a little third down here. If the Demons can bow their neck, it'll be a little little win on defense for a defensive stop.
The Demons have only forced 4 third downs defensively.
Yeah.
This is SFA is now 2 for 3 on third downs, and they punted it once. Going to go with the outside pitch. That'll be about a yard shy of the first down. We'll see if Colby Carthel elects to punt again here. It looks like SFA is going to try to line up quickly, and wonder if this might be a hard count, Gary.
Yeah, possibly, but just wouldn't be surprised if they just hand it off and try to power through. They were going to do that.
They're just going to go direct snap to the tailback, and he'll get the first down. That was Jalen Jenkins again, as a Demon lost the helmet.
So Stephen F. Austin has a lot of gimmicks that they do, but really this is how they signal plays in from the sideline. If you see the scoreboard there, all those little dots, circles, and try to figure that out.
I'm pretty good at anagrams and puzzles, Gary. Clearly, red star on the left, top left, means run the football. Actually, I think it means wait for third quarter to expire.
So first play, okay.
Yeah, so red circle top right, red star top left means wait for the play, wait for the third quarter clock to expire. I think that's the play they're running.
I'll never figure it out.
I think that's the play they're running. Yeah, Gary's more used to Bill Belichick just screaming from the sidelines, go hit the guy and tell Lawrence Taylor to rush and sack the quarterback.
Yeah, those were the days.
All SFA, Lumberjacks and Demons tied 7 apiece in the third quarter. talking about guys getting an opportunity. Richard Reese, the Baylor transfer that, as Colby Carthel called him, the change of pace guy. Well, Gary, the change of pace guy has 115 yards rushing and a touchdown in this one.
Just climbed up right there, and he made a mark there. It's not a problem for him. He's fast. He's got good speed. I like seeing him how he plays.
He had just over 250 yards rushing on the season coming into this one, and has gotten a lot of carries here. Another big hole right up the middle for SFA and dragging guys forward. Once again, that's Jalen Jenkins. Jenkins already has a couple of rushing touchdowns in this game, as SFA is thrown for 4 and run for 3.
Pretty impressive here. About 10 yards after contact, 10 yak yards. Tough to bring down.
By the way, Clinton Onakuru ended up making the tackle on that, about 15 yards downfield. You look at the SFA rushing attack right now after that 19-yard run. Their top 3 backs are all averaging over 8 yards a carry right now. And Jenkins is going to try to turn the corner. He's going to pick up another 8 yards before he gets waylaid out of bounds at the 20-yard line. But Gary, SFA, very balanced. They're over 550 yards of total offense, 280 through the air and 260 plus on the ground now.
That is pretty good balance, no doubt about that.
And by the way, that is over 550 yards on just 51 plays in this game for the Lumberjacks. Another handoff right up the middle, and that'll be right at the first down marker. They're going to say not enough, though. Oh, now they'll signal for the chains to move. So 1st and 10 is, got to imagine both coaches are interested in seeing this clock move as quickly as possible, especially Colby Carthel. His team will head back to Nacogdoches. They'll take the Chief Trophy with them for the 2nd year in a row. SFA going to run the play clock down under 10. There's all your
the boards
with stars, and it looks like those old cards they used to do with psychic tests. You know, the wavy lines and all of that stuff. The run up the middle for not much. Helmet came off. So what do we think, Gary? You got a red star, blue star, yellow star. You got a purple circle, a square, and a triangle. We think those are formations. Do we think those are actual calls? What do we possibly have going? By the way, they have helmet communication too. So
just a lot of technology and also some old school.
Some analog.
Old school.
Got some digital technology and some analog as well. Throw to the outside, and that'll go down inside the 10-yard line. As they went to Surratt, Stetson Surratt, the sophomore from Midlothian. And now SFA is going to move quickly on 1st and goal, which is going to be 3rd and a yard.
Yeah, just get that momentum, keep it going.
They'll go ahead and pick up the first down to the 5-yard line. And just continuing to grind on this. The crazy thing is the time of possession is well in favor of Northwestern State in this game. Demons are basically plus 10 in time of possession, plus 10 minutes, but when you have 55 on the board, it doesn't really matter what your time of possession is. You do it quickly or slowly. Another handoff on the middle, up the middle. Nice tackle made from the backside. That was Colby Cage, who's been the Iron Man for Northwestern State, the graduate student from New Orleans by way of Southern Miss. He's been basically the only guy in the secondary that the SFA coaching staff and defensive coordinator Matt Connor can count on being there. And by the way, he's also playing hurt. But he's been there. He's been the Iron Man, as this has been a defense as a whole, but especially in the secondary, that has just been decimated by injuries. Another handoff, bouncing it outside, trying to turn the corner, not enough. Cage will make that stop, and a late flag comes flying in.
Yeah, a helmet flew off, and I'm not sure if that's going to be at the infraction point.
It was Izar Jones who lost his helmet, the Nacogdoches native.
Personal foul, hands to face, number 14, defense. Half the distance to go at the end of the run. Automatic, first down. In the game.
So Jakarian Lathan called for the hands to the face. That'll put the ball at the 1 yard line for SFA. Direct snap and a dive over the top, and I don't think he got there. The whole pile took him backwards.
Didn't have enough height to get over that pile. And then Demons defense just swarm, and they just push him back.
That was a purple wave that he rode atop. Problem is he went the wrong direction.
Yeah. About right on the spot is how I could see it from our vantage point.
So credit Jenkins trying to pick up that third rushing touchdown. He'll try it again.
Not going to make it.
And he is into the end zone for the touchdown. Just got the ball across. It's at our near linesman. He was in the arms of Barrett Newman. And SFA goes over 60 in this one.
Yeah, that was a close call right there in regards to him crossing that line with his forward momentum. But the sideline judge called it a touchdown.
That was a near 8-minute touchdown drive for Stephen F. Austin. 15 plays. The Lumberjacks picking up yet another scoring drive. Coming into this one, they had 12 scoring drives of 75 yards or longer. That one was 75 yards on the nose. So a Lumberjack offense that can matriculate the ball down the field, as they say. The extra point is good. A little over 10 minutes left to go, and SFA just continues to pour it on. Now up 62-7.
Casati Pines at Coshada, nestled in the natural wetlands of southwest Louisiana on 65 acres of looking glass lakes, surrounded by stately pines and live oaks. It's an experience unlike any other. A challenging 18-hole par 72 championship course, 6 sets of tees, and a unique 19th tiebreaker hole. Ranked the 18th best golf course in the USA by Golf Advisor. Casati Pines at Coshada in Kinder, Louisiana. Louisiana's best bet.
Looking for cleaner energy? Propane is energy for everyone. And when you're cooking with clean, affordable propane, you're cooking with gas. In the wintertime, nothing heats a home like Louisiana propane. And when you need hot water, propane's got you covered. Oh, and you won't regret that propane generator when the power goes out. I'm Miss Louisiana, Gabrielle McLeod, and to find more information and to find a propane dealer near you, visit louisianapropane.com.
Whether it's in the trailer, behind the camera, or on the air, NSU has a place for you. Learn the ins and outs of an ESPN broadcast while getting a full-fledged education in sports media or broadcast journalism. Northwestern State University. New media, journalism, and communication arts. Learn more at nsula.edu/new media.
It's brutal. So slow.
Good thing we brought Jersey Mike's. Is that Danny DeVito?
Don't worry about me. This is a commercial for Jersey Mike's. And at Jersey Mike's, the subs matter most. Freshly sliced right in front of you. That's what matters here. Almost forgot. I found your ball.
It's a rock.
Where the subs matter most. It's a Jersey Mike's thing. A sub above.
Stephen F. Austin continuing to put yardage and touchdowns on the board. Nearly 600 yards of offense in this one. They just embarked on an 8-minute scoring drive. 15 plays, 75 yards, and it's It's been all Lumberjacks from the jump. They stopped the Demons on their first possession, 3 and out. Bugs Mortimer returned the punt 79 yards for a touchdown, and that was basically all she wrote. SFA's Sam Vidlak starting in the game and was absolutely magnificent as that kickoff return will go down just shy of the 20-yard line. And Jason, it is interesting, right? Coaches move around. One guy in particular that was at Northwestern State, then moved to another conference foe, and then to this Stephen F. Austin team.
Yeah, Patrick, SFA defensive line coach Kevon Beckwith, you see him there. Spent one season, the 2021 season here in Natchitoches at Northwestern State. Went to UIW. While at UIW, his Cardinals defense, he was the defensive line coach, but they led the nation, or excuse me, led the Southland, and may have led the nation in tackles for loss. Beckwith also went to SEMO, then eventually made his way to SFA, and really enjoyed talking to Colby Carthel about him. And Carthel told the story about when he came to SFA, Kevon Beckwith lived with the Carthels for a month or so, made him a pot of red beans and rice. Kevon from South Louisiana originally, made him a pot of red beans and rice that, in Colby Carthel's words, deserved, quote, a lifetime contract. So got to ask Kevon about that before the game. Good to catch up with him. And he said, you know, I got to bring a little Louisiana to East Texas. Those guys over there, they do barbecue, and they do it well, but that's all they do. So, and Patrick, if anyone knows barbecue, it's you. And Nacogdoches people that are watching will shout out Brendan's Barbecue.
Absolutely.
Texas Top 50, great place to go get something to eat.
Yeah, go catch my interview with Brendan Todd on the Barbecue Hound, Gary. If you, Brendan Todd from Nacogdoches at Brendan's Barbecue, had his spot a couple of months ago. It's fantastic. If you're in Nacogdoches, go see Brendan Todd at Brendan's Barbecue as they try to find the screen on the outside. It's incomplete. And look, here's the thing I'm really most disappointed with, and Jason even mentioned this to Colby Carthel. Kevon Beckwith was here for a whole year. He didn't make us any red beans and rice.
That's right. Well, maybe we could just toss that out there and get a little sample.
I'm just saying, Nacogdoches isn't that far away from Natchitoches, Gary. It's about an hour and 45, so I'm just saying it would be easy for Kevon Beckwith to just send a pot over this direction. So NSU facing third down and long. The Demons are 1 for 10 on third downs. Deep slant. That one is caught by Jimmy Duncan, and Duncan will have the first down around the 35-yard line.
So that was a 4 wide receiver set that time. And that was probably one of the very few times that I've seen Northwestern State get in that type of formation. It spreads everybody out, gives you the outside-in opportunity, and guess what? Quarterback strike. Big play, big first down.
Eli Anderson has played well since coming in. Again, remember, he came in, he's facing majorities 2s, 3s, even some 4s in there. So it's not like when Abram Johnson started and he's facing the big boys on the front line. But Anderson, 8 of 12, 133 yards passing with a touchdown. Going to try to throw the bubble screen to the outside. He hits Duncan again, and Duncan spins forward for a bit. Demons will probably get us somewhere around the 300-yard mark when it all is said and done. But you'd certainly like to see more than 7 points up on the board if you're NSU.
Yeah, definitely like to put more points on the board. Defense has got to, be a little more stalwart than what they were able to put out there tonight against Stephen F. Austin. But Eli Anderson's having a fun night here. He's delivered, got a good completion percentage in this ball game with his passing.
Demons second and less than 5. Couple of tight ends. They go back to the counter play, and again, there just hasn't been much running room, and not surprising against this Stephen F. Austin defense. No matter which unit is in there, 2s, 3s, 4s, it doesn't matter. They are a group that prides themselves on stopping you from running the football. So now third down for NSU. Demons just converted their second third down of the night. Now 2 for 11. Pistol formation. Handoff up the middle, and that will be right at the first down marker. Demons will get the first down on the run up the middle, and we're going to go back down to Jason Pugh, who is standing by with a member of the Southland Conference who is joining us for this one. Jason.
Patrick got Southland communications expert James Hill here. And James, you know, we had hashtag 2-bit Southland for baseball. Now you can probably go hashtag 3-bit Southland for this football playoff push.
Absolutely, and it's a huge year for football. We think we have 3 playoff teams. Southeastern just got a big win over Nichols. I don't know if I'm breaking news there or if Patrick already did, but Southeastern gets a big win over the Riverbelt. We think they're going to be in. Obviously, SFA, who's already has the AQ. We think they're a top 8 worthy, and then Lamar and McNeese coming up on Saturday with Lamar and Southeastern both being top 16 worthy. It's been an incredible year for Southland football. Really has come a long way, and it's really setting, I think, the standard going forward.
When you look at it, when you try to pitch these teams, you put some stuff out on social media. What are the key points you try to push to the selection committee, many of whom are hopefully still watching this game?
Yeah, you're just a mixture of, first, look at the team's resume, what they've done, the games they've won. You have SFA 2 ranked wins. You have Lamar 2 ranked wins, maybe one of the best wins of the season over South Dakota. You look at what Southeastern's done all year and their quality of work.
Jason, we're going to have to interrupt you for a second as Jeremiah James is taking it inside the 10-yard line and down to the 5. Biggest run of the night for Northwestern State. Jason, continue.
But exactly, but then you also want to look at the metric side of it as well. Where do some of the predictive models fall along with that resume? You look at somebody like SFA, their predictive models as well as their resume, it's fit for a top 8 team, and the same can be said for Lamar and Southeastern as top 16 seeds.
Well, James, thanks for making your point. Patrick, with the Demons in the red zone, we'll toss it back up to you.
All right, at Southland Sports, if you would like to follow along with what's going on with the Southland Conference. James and his crew do a terrific job of keeping the word out and getting the word out about the potential 3-bid Southland. Demons with the ball at the 5-yard line. Blitz coming. Anderson throws it at the feet of Ty Moore, crossing at the 5-yard line.
Yeah, pressure there by Omar up front, and he had to get that ball out of his hand pretty quickly. Didn't have enough time to allow the receiver to come open.
That was a 44-yard run for Jeremiah James. He's got 9 carries for 69 yards. Interestingly, Gary, there are 5 different guys who've had runs of at least 12 yards in this game for NSU. However, you've got a wide receiver reverse, another wide receiver reverse. You've got a fake punt in there as well. So some different avenues for running the football for Northwestern State. Another blitz coming. This time Anderson's running it the opposite way and running into the defensive front. By the way, Gary, do you know what SFA calls their defense this year? You perhaps have heard of the Pittsburgh Steelers Steel Curtain.
Yeah, I've heard of that.
Have you heard of the Nacogdoches Stephen F. Austin Pine Curtain defense?
That would be a new one on me.
Pine Curtain. And by the way, if you ever run into a curtain of pine straw, it sounds like a terrible thing to do. Just poking you all, needles, it doesn't sound like a lot of fun. And I imagine going against this SFA defense also not a lot of fun. Anderson back of the end zone. There's Ty Moore again for the touchdown. Good to see Ty Moore getting some love on his senior night. He showed his dad Glenn and his mom Janice, both Northwestern State athletic royalty. And Anderson has looked very good in relief with his second passing touchdown of the night.
Well done here. They brought this team down the field pretty efficiently, and now just this pass to Ty Moore tops it off with Northwestern State getting in the end zone for the second time.
And great job by the tight end, Gary, of occupying 2 guys at the front of the goal line to let Moore get open in the back. And then, fortunately for Ty Moore, he did not get penalized for the 2 pumps in the back of the end zone. Ingle McCringleberry will tell you that's a flag. Military Appreciation Night here at Turpin Stadium in Natchitoches. Fire truck number 1 right there from the Natchitoches Fire Department out saluting our service members. The ROTC for Northwestern State been doing push-ups for scores in the end zone. Obviously, we send our best to all of our fighting men and women in all areas of the world and here at home. Do such an amazing job to protect our freedom. And Gary, it's one of those things that's a job I could never do. So I have even more respect for the folks that are able to do that. It's definitely not something that I would be able to do. So the return out of the end zone, out to just shy of the 25-yard line. So the last 4:20, as you see the trophy they're playing for, the Chief. On one side, you see on the right side there, it is an axe in purple for SFA. On the other side, you can't see in orange, it is a pitchfork for Northwestern State. Whoever wins the Chief, there's a better shot. Yeah, you see the pitchfork on one side, the axe on the other. Whoever wins this battle, they will put the score on it, and they will get to display their end upright. So SFA will get to have the axe upright when they head back to Nacogdoches. They'll get to celebrate with it. It is actually, we might have a breakaway here and a terrific tackle late to stop a potential touchdown. That was Braden Lewis, the redshirt freshman from Dangerfield, getting the ball all the way out to midfield, and Jamarian Bonner taking him down. But so the old Chief Caddo was 7'6", 320 pounds. A couple of years ago, Colby Carthel just brought a log. It was there's nothing on it. It was just a log. He brought it to Natchitoches, said we're going to do something with it. He and Blaine McCorkle, the head coach for Northwestern State, got together and decided to go ahead and make a new trophy for the rivalry. So they came up with the Chief. They ended up hiring a chainsaw artist. You don't see chainsaw artists all that often.
Not very many.
Not a ton of those out there. Not a very not an often used job description. But Della Meredith was her name, and they hired her, and she went ahead and carved. Again, the log was also 7'6" to 320 pounds, the same dimensions as the old Chief Caddo, which I think still resides in Nacogdoches, by the way, and somewhere in storage.
It's still residing as the largest trophy in college football?
I mean, I would think so. It is still a 7'6" trophy that's 320 pounds. So it would seem to make sense that it would still be the largest rivalry trophy in sports. But they went ahead and had it carved. Blaine McCorkle and Colby Carthel getting together to come up with the idea for the new Chief. Still call it the Battle for the Chief. It just is not a depiction of a Native American. It is simply an axe on one side and a pitchfork on the other. I think and then when after the game is over with, the Lumberjacks will go grab the Chief and bring him out, celebrate when this one finally comes to a close. As SFA going to get a timeout by the Lumberjacks. By the way, that is a quarterback that we do not have a number on the roster for. Take the break. new quarterback in the ball game. He's wearing the wrong number, at least according to the roster we have. That is Miles Lopez, the freshman from San Juan, Texas. He is the new quarterback for SFA. And Gary, Johnny on the spot, or Gary on the spot, said, hey, why don't we ask the coaches? They're right next door.
Yeah, we couldn't find the guy, and here he is. And,
yeah.
Well, we figured it out. We worked it out.
So it is Miles Lopez that's in the ball game for the Lumberjacks. Don't know if he'll get a pass attempt off, and he'll keep handing it off. And that will be Braden Lewis, the redshirt freshman from Dangerfield, Texas. And now we're going to take another break.
We get that other 2-minute timeout.
Yeah, now we
right?
get the – you know what, Gary? It's the last game of the season for us. This is the 2-minute warning right here. 2-minute warning, and I don't care. James Stanfield, as he made me say it, by the way. James Stanfield made me say it. Direct your angry emails at James Stanfield at Northwestern State. The Stanley Shaftstall high above the Donald Kelly Athletic Complex. And why do we single out our man Stanley? It is because it is his final football game as a Northwestern State Demon, graduating and moving on. There you see our production team, finest in the business, with Riley Schwezo and on camera 3, Anna Poe over on camera 2. We're making Stanley do some work here at the end. And Kara Nelson over on camera 1, all of our crew in the truck doing such an incredible job as SFA is going to go ahead and keep running it here on 3rd down. Flag is down. Braden Woods is down. And Woods will limp. He's been a really bright spot for this Northwestern State team.
Offense. That pin has declined. 4th down.
Braden Woods, the redshirt freshman from right here in Natchitoches at Natchitoches Central. But, again, our production crew, Gary, the best in the business. That's what they do. And we appreciate James Stanfield, Travis Mitchell. There you see trailer cam.
There you go.
Word in the background. And got Bama Bangs. And there you go. Aiden,
good job, guys.
The perfect the bangs.
Good opportunity to work with you guys.
Yeah, it's always a delight, Gary, to have you with us, providing some insight. And, you know, sometimes we need someone to chastise us for our silliness and inanity. And it's
I don't go that far. I don't bring that to the table by any means.
4th and long. They're going to throw deep, and that one is knocked away, incomplete. And NSU will get off the field on 4th down. So
you didn't think that Reese was going to be able to throw the ball? He got her Lopez. Excuse me.
Yeah, Lopez. Yeah. He elected to go ahead and chunk it downfield. I'm I mean, I'm somewhat surprised you're throwing deep. Obviously, I don't know the times that Lopez is going to be able to get in the game and get a chance to throw down the field. But the Demons get the turnover on downs, and that's just a matter of what NSU wants to do with the last minute 20. Are you thinking 2-minute offense here, Gary?
I think they're going to hand off and call it a game.
They will hand off, and going backwards, that'll be another tackle for loss for that SFA defense. We mentioned coming in now over 100 tackles for loss on the year. They have 11 in this ball game.
Yeah, I don't think that was the flag. That was a mouthpiece, guys. Got this little logo bug here.
Yeah,
the flag. They see something fly out there.
Yeah, the bug should have said earpiece.
Yeah, it was. It was a earpiece or a mouthpiece.
Well, Gary, as always, brother, it's been a pleasure.
Yeah, it's fun to come back and always have a chance to be on campus at Northwestern State University. Obviously my alma mater, and really proud to have been able to be a part of this university for so many years, and it's just continuing to be it's a challenge now for Northwestern State to get back to a winning cycle, and that's what they're getting under Coach McCorkle, and firmly behind what he is doing here and building here. So, but good conference of competition. So the Southland Conference, as we talked about, there potentially is going to be 3 bids, 3 teams make it in there. Stephen F. Austin's got the automatic qualifier that they're going to be able to get in there. They may be a top 8 seed, which would be great. They get a bye then at that point. And then Lamar and Stephen F. and Southeastern, both 2 have a chance to get into the tournament. And so selection committee, look at the Southland Conference favorably.
Colby Carthel and Blaine McCorkle will meet at midfield, and he's actually telling him, I just saw him talk about that pass there at the very end and try to make sure to let him know that he wasn't trying to run it up. And there's the Chief. Again, it doesn't look as imposing as the old Chief did, but it is still a 300-plus pound log.
And that's pretty heavy. It's taken 6 guys to carry that thing.
Now they've got what they've got to do is figure out a base for it, because they have to lay it down, and you certainly want it sitting up. So the next item that they have to figure out is the base so that it can sit there.
I could make a concrete ring to put it in.
Right, exactly. Just put something in there. I'm sure the ingenuity of a bunch of college people probably be able to make that happen, but the Chief makes its way out onto the field, and it will return to Nacogdoches for head coach Colby Carthel.
Yeah, he's done a good job with this program, and congratulations to him and his team there. And still looking to see how far they can go in the playoffs and what they might possibly bring back as far as the end of their season. And I think they could have a good long run in the playoffs.
So he will make his way over to chat with Jason Pugh after a big win, 62-14 for the Lumberjacks. And it is from start to finish, a dominant win for the SFA Lumberjacks. They started with a 79-yard punt return for touchdown from Bugs Mortimer, and then Sam Vidlak came in, threw for 3 TDs, and it was all SFA from there. Jason?
Coach, you're able to have that great first half. We talked about it at the first half. You did what you needed to do in the second half, which you've done all year when you've had a big lead. You're able to kind of play with some pace. You got out of here healthy. You made the statement. Is there a better way to go back to Nacogdoches?
We're going back undefeated, undisputed conference champions, first time in school history. So it's going to be a short drive home back across the Sabine, I promise you.
10 wins in a row for the first time in a season. What does that say about the maturity level of this team?
Yeah, we just got great senior leadership. Everybody came back, and they made that commitment to each other, to this school, to our community of Nacogdoches, SFA in general, and that says so much about the culture of our locker room and these kids, and so I'm just happy for them. They're doing something that hadn't been done in 105 years of football.
One more chance to impress the selection committee. You did it on the field. We'll give you a few seconds to do it with the mic.
Golly. 10 in a row, held Houston to 7 3-and-outs. They're a pretty good team. Got #1 defense in the country, #1 special teams in the country. They're hot. They deserve it. Let them go home and see Mom for Thanksgiving.
Coach, go celebrate with the team and enjoy the Thanksgiving break.
Thank you. Action Jack.
Patrick, Gary, for the last time, up to you guys.
Thank you, Jason. Appreciate it. And also thanks, Jason, for his willingness to make himself a meme at any given time, jumping in the shopping cart, jumping in the polar bear costume, whatever it takes. Jason Pugh is there for it. Gary, final thoughts not only on this one, but also the season as a whole.
Well, the season is kind of for Northwestern State is what we kind of expected, unfortunately, and that is we're going to be a tough sledding all throughout the season. You know, on Thursday night to start the season against Alcorn, they finally got a win, and that ended a long drought of wins at Northwestern State, but still, there's still a growth, and that's what Coach McCorkle is doing with this team, and it's growing by youth, and so they're going to take this time to get to where they need to be, and hopefully that's going to be for Northwestern State, you know, winning throughout the year. And for Stephen F. Austin, I think that congratulations to them on the conference championship, the automatic bid, everything that comes with it, and I'd like to see the Southland Conference represented well in the FCS playoffs.
Certainly. We mentioned the Demons, 3 of their losses by 5 points or fewer. That's the most since 2016, and maybe a sign that the Demons are reasonably close to where they want to be. I want to say thanks to everyone who has watched our broadcast all season long, played along, enjoyed things. We are absolutely just so thankful to be able to bring this to you on a day-by-day basis, a weekly basis, as this is one of the finest broadcasts in all the land, not just at the FCS level, not just in the Southland Conference, but in the nation as a whole. And that'll do it for our football season. The beautiful run out to start tonight. The lights went out at one point. Bugs Mortimer was electric as advertised, and it was all SFA. For Jason Pugh on the sidelines, Gary Reasons up here next to me, I'm Patrick Netherton saying so long from Turpin Stadium in Natchitoches. Stephen F. Austin, 62-14. All games airing on the ESPN networks are streaming live and archived on the ESPN app. This has been a presentation of ESPN. For the final time, good night from the City of Lights.